so far and what's to come going forward.
And months later, it still feels nearly unbelievable.
So that was the first time I heard my name actually get called in a draft before, because I went undrafted in college.
Making the feat perhaps even more remarkable,
I actually committed to Division III school at Curry before even playing a single varsity inning.
going from nearly no varsity playing time due to an injury to one call away from the big leagues. It may sound impossible, but David has a history of overcoming the odds.
So I was born with a condition called cholesteatoma, which is kind of like excess dead skin cells that will grow in your ear over time, and if it goes untreated, you could lose all your hearing.
A condition that, despite countless surgeries, even moving skin from his arm to his ear, has left him 75% deaf in one ear, and at times has plagued him on the mound.
I essentially pitched my entire AAA season with a small dose of vertigo, essentially, where like doing the same thing over and over felt different every single time.
Impacting his ability to play the game he loved, and growing up, leaving him with a desire to simply fit in.
My doctors for the longest time wanted me to get like a hearing aid or the cochlear implant, stuff like that, and I was just so against it. I'm like, I wanna be normal, I don't wanna stand out and stuff like that.
While David would learn to play through it.
If you can survive this, you can survive anything at this point. So I think that was the biggest kind of takeaway of it all.
More importantly, he'd learn how to live with it out loud.
It's ironic now that the Bananas is like, hey, if you got something, like, show it. And I think it's now like not being afraid and more like embracing what you have that's different than what makes you so good, makes you so great and stuff like that. And I think showing kids like, yeah, like you might have a hearing deficit, you might have like a different kind of deficit or disability, but like there are still ways to adapt and still become the best version of yourself.
David, realizing the best and biggest moments in his own life, never relied on what he could hear, but rather who he was with.
It was the first time where I really got to have everyone that supported me through the years, like family, friends, baseball teammates, stuff like that. Like, it was a nice culmination of my career so far to celebrate with everyone.
Which means he knows firsthand the true sound of joy isn't something you simply hear, but instead, it's something you feel.
Guys, the wait is finally over. The Clowns are back, and Banana Ball spring training has also kicked off. So that also means former World Series champion Jackie Bradley Jr. is getting ready for his first season of Banana Ball.
This is not a hoax. This year, I am a full-time Banana Ball player.
And Jackie decided to join Banana Ball thanks to a phone call from Bananas owner Jesse Cole, who said this may be impossible, and he explains why he decided to bring his talents to Banana Land.
I trust in the vision. I trust in what he's trying to accomplish. Obviously, we're competing for the hearts of the fans. Entertaining them is our main objective, and trying to do things that's never been done before.
So if you go to an Indianapolis Clowns game, you'll see the former Gold Glover out there embracing everything that comes with Banana Ball.
I'm fully bought into the entertaining and trying to do things that's never been done before.
Now, Jackie won't be the only former World Series champion joining the Clowns this season. Ryan Howard, a 2008 World Series champion, will join the Clowns as a primetime head coach. And he made his expectations clear for his squad.
It is them clowns is coming, and we're not clowning around, you know what I'm saying? What rhymes with clown? Crown. And that's what's going to happen. We're going to take this crown at the end of the year.
And Jackie said having a coach like Ryan Howard, who understands what it takes to win it all, can only help the Clowns even more.
But to be able to sit down with him and kind of dig deep into the depth of his knowledge of the game is something that I think we're all going to look forward to.
So as the 2026 Banana Ball Championship League gets ready to kick off, get ready to see a side of Jackie Bradley Jr. and a version of the Indianapolis Clowns like you've never seen them before. Yet another history-making night here in Banana Ball. It wasn't just the first headlining game for the local Beach Coconuts, but this night belonged to the Indianapolis Clowns. They've recorded 22 hits, a new Banana Ball record in just one game. But then the South Carolina back-to-back national champion, Jackie Bradley Jr., went crazy. Had 6 RBIs, 4 for 4 at the plate. By the way, he hit for the cycle.
It's over his head and over the wall. It's a cycle for Jackie Bradley Jr.
It's amazing to be back. Like I said, I've always said, it feels like a second home. I was from Virginia, spent a lot of time in South Carolina, so it's good to be back.
He wasn't the only person turning heads. Monet Davis, the superstar from the Little League World Series, made her banana ball debut this night. And after just 2 pitches, recorded her first out.
I'm excited to get back out there. I had so much fun. I got to throw my change up, my splitter, so I feel good. Just to inspire other girls, to let them know, you know, you can do this. You know, there's girls on every single team that you can do whatever you put your mind to.
The Clowns dominated this first game of the series. Another example that you'll never know what you can expect at a banana ball game.
All roads lead to the Banana Ball Open. Top 4 teams will battle it out for a guaranteed spot in the playoffs.
The Texas Tailgaters, firefighters, and the Banana Ball Open.
The Savannah Bananas.
The Indianapolis Clowns secure the spot in the Banana Ball Open.
We can expect a whole lot of fireworks.
It's gone! Backflip catch makes the ball disappear. Oh my gosh, how in the world? You're out of your mind. It's gone! It's gone! It's gone! Unbelievable! Kyle Jackson has hit for the cycle! It's a cycle for Jackie Bradley Jr. 22 hits in a game. Banana Ball history. Where else would you rather be?
It is game one of the Banana Ball Open presented by Geico, and it is win or go home. The number 1 seed, the Savannah Bananas, come in scorching hot, riding a league-best 6-game winning streak, thanks in part to the heroics of early MVP candidate Kyle Jackson, Banana Ball's Player of the Month in March. While the number 4 seed, the Indianapolis Clowns, bashed their way into the Open with a sweep of the Loco Beach Coconuts last weekend, powered by Banana Ball's Player of the Week, Jackie Bradley Jr., who became only the 3rd player in the history of the sport to ever hit for the cycle. The winner tonight plays in the Open Championship on Saturday night. The loser goes home. And how lucky are we to get to bear witness to this titanic clash here on a thirsty Thursday in historic Grayson Stadium. The 10-1 Savannah Bananas against the 4-7 Indianapolis Clowns. Only the 3rd time ever these 2 teams have done battle, as we welcome you inside with Josh Talevsky, Biko Scala. Thank you so much for spending your Thursday night with us here in virtual Banana Land. The Clowns coming into last weekend just 2-7. They sweep the Coconuts, and now they get to take on the best team in the sport.
And they are certainly the Banana Ball Open Cinderella story. And judging by what we saw in the Firefighters in the Tour Championship last season, we know that these Cinderella teams can really go on some crazy runs, and the Clowns have a lot of momentum in their favor at the moment. But as for the Savannah Bananas, 10-1 this season, leading the pack amongst the teams in the Banana Ball Championship League, and in large part due to their pitching, and they hope that leads them into the finals on Saturday and Sunday.
Let's talk about how this Banana Ball Open works, because it is going to be single elimination here in the semis, as you can see tonight and tomorrow night, when it will be the Tailgaters and Firefighters clashing. And then in the finals, it is a 2-game series. If you split the 2 games, it immediately goes to showdown tiebreakers after game 2 on Sunday afternoon to decide the series. Of course, the winner of the Open clinches a playoff spot come October.
I mean, you've never seen anything like this in sports before. Being able to clinch a playoff spot this early in the season, it only happens in Banana Ball. And one other note that fans should know, as far as the finals are concerned on the 18th and 19th, in Game 2, the teams will switch as the home and away team, which adds another interesting wrinkle into this format.
We've talked about the bracket. It helps to visualize it. So let's take a look. It's going to be the 4-seed Indianapolis Clowns taking on, of course, the #1 overall seed, the Savannah Bananas, here tonight. And then tomorrow evening, right here on the Banana Ball YouTube channel, you get to see the 2-seed Firefighters coming off their 2-game sweep of the Party Animals against the Texas Tailgaters, who went into last weekend as the #2 overall seed. Of course, were swept by the Bananas, and that's why they will be the away team tomorrow night against the Firefighters. Truly fascinating to see how this thing goes, and we've got to shift our focus back to the Indianapolis Clowns, because it has been a roller coaster journey going all the way back to the second game in Banana Ball Championship League history, about Jackie Bradley Jr. closing out the first inning of action with his first ever trick play, and then Jalen Vasquez, the punctuation mark on a 5-run second.
This team came out of the gates absolutely roaring on opening night, and Jackie Bradley Jr. was also a part of that as well, collecting his first Banana Ball hit in the 4th inning, bringing 2 runs into the plate. And you know what? He even had 2 trick plays in the ball game as well for the Indianapolis Clowns. Fisher Polidoro dazzled with the knuckleball, striking out defending MVP Jake Stoll. And Nick Wilson, he was the man who was made the closer at the start of the season and was able to get the Clowns the save and the win in their very first game in Banana Ball.
Yeah, surviving the big boppers and that powerful Party Animals lineup at that. But the Clowns then would take on the Party Animals the next weekend in Memphis. They would get swept, so they come into Montgomery, Alabama, trying to turn the tides, and David Griffin, in his lone relief appearance this year, downright disgusting. He was filthy across 3 innings of relief, showing off the skills with the glove as well. Really incredible reflexes. And then it was Jalen Vasquez again with the game knotted at 3 in the 9th. His 2nd career homer. It's a massive one again.
And I'm willing to say they're the 2 biggest home runs in Clowns history. That go-ahead shot against Ben Dum, and of course the first home run in Clowns history on opening night. Once again, Vasquez setting up Nick Wilson, and he earned them their 2nd win of the season against the Firefighters.
Yeah, that was 2 scoreless innings of relief for Nick Wilson in that one. But then, after being swept by the Tailgaters and Bananas, 4 straight losses, they go into last week 2-7, and Jackie Bradley Jr. says, "Get on my back. We are chugging through the Loco Beach Coconuts this weekend." A triple, a single, now the 2-run home run. He drove in 6 in this game. That tied the single-game Banana Ball record. And then in the 7th, he put the double on the board as well, the 3rd player all-time to ever hit for the cycle in Banana Ball.
Yeah, and he was justifiably named the player of the week last week in Banana Ball, and it was a dominating 7-2 win for Indianapolis on night 1. That would set up game 2, and how about Joe Lytle opening up some more scoring for the Indianapolis Clowns? They were without him 2 weekends ago in Anaheim, but he's batting over 400 for this squad. Another offensive leader, and Brett Maddock also dazzled on the mound in relief for the Clowns.
Yeah, 2 scoreless innings of relief for Maddock. The same goes for Gage Voorhees, who gets his first save as an Indianapolis Clown. What a snag by Nico Holsizer to close it out, and Monet Davis in her debut weekend gets to go 2-0. Zooming in on Jackie Bradley Jr., because the highlights are one thing, the numbers are another. For the 2-time World Series champion, it should not be a surprise that he is pacing the tour 11 games in with those 18 hits and 16 runs driven in, and then still top 3 in homers, runs, and total bases.
And again, he comes into this series as hot as he's ever been in his young Banana Ball career. 6 runs batted in last weekend. Everybody thought he'd be a Rookie of the Year favorite. He is turning into an MVP favorite for the Indianapolis Clowns all of a sudden. And for more with Jackie Bradley Jr., we're going to send it down to Nate Bilgeray.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with a former MLB Gold Glover, All-Star, and World Series champion with the Boston Red Sox turned full-time Banana Baller, Jackie Bradley Jr., JBJ. So we've seen you a couple of times pull out what could potentially be a signature trick play in the Naruto run that I just tried to emulate. Why Naruto?
Naruto is pretty special. He's a young kid who's want to be head Hokage one day, and I think he sets his goals really high. And I'm at the point now where I'm kind of looking at the video, and I'm hoping that he's accomplishing them.
What are your Naruto-like goals for Banana Ball this year?
Ultimately, I want to entertain the fans, put a smile on some kids' faces and hopefully bring their parents back so they can keep bringing the kids and just having some fun. And with that comes winning. Winning is fun.
Winning is fun indeed. Okay, I want to go back to your playing days because obviously professional baseball, this is as pro as it gets, but there's so many added elements when you were playing regular ball compared with banana ball. What's one element that you just never would have even dreamed about doing that's now part of your daily routine?
The entertainment side of things, that's something that's completely new to me. I'm an introvert at heart, but this has been able to bring out a side of me that I didn't even know that was deep down in there. I don't really focus so much on the baseball aspect of things, which is good because there's no pressure. Just try to have some fun and get the things done.
Well, I feel like extrovert JBJ has been killing it so far this season. I'm excited to see what you got in store for us. Josh, Biko, back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Nate. Always awesome getting some insight from Jackie Bradley Jr., superstar here through 11 games in his young banana ball career. And JBJ plus his entire team coming out onto the field. Yvonne Trezak just took a spill. Let's zoom in.
Coming through the crowd, trying to get you loud. It's about that time that we reintroducing what we working with. Yeah. Let me see your hands if you're repping Indianapolis. Yeah, we back and even better. Players flipping through the air and don't you dare try to catch us. Only catches that we making is the ball hitting the leather. Now you out, bring them out. Next hitter better step up. Yeah. And stepping up is all we know when placed under the pressure. It's resilience. Do you feel it? Can't nobody do it better, man. Y'all, we've been gone way too long, but we back and that's a fact. We the clowns that we yeah. Woo!
All right. Oh, it is fun to watch the Indianapolis Clowns do their shadow ball introduction. Malachi Mitchell putting the bow on top. And oh, there goes Yvonne Trezak, our Director of Creative Content. I talked about it, tossing it down to the clouds. We get the POV from Yvonne's camera. Clowning around down there. Okay, let's take a look at JBJ versus KJ because the similarities are eerie. Going down to the bottom of this graphic right here, they were both born on April 19th. KJ just a dozen years after Jackie Bradley Jr.
But look, that's not the only thing that they have in common. You see both of these guys batting 400 or better this season with OPS numbers north of 1,000, each with a trio of home runs this year. And what's more, both of these guys have completed cycles this season. KJ, the second player ever to do it, JBJ, the third. And Kyle Jackson actually came against Bradley Jr.'s Indianapolis Clowns on March 28th in Anaheim.
We've talked about the Clowns MVP candidate in Jackie Bradley Jr. Let's set our sights on the Bananas early MVP candidate in Kyle Jackson, still 23 years young for a few days here in the Banana Ball Open. And KJ has been doing it with every part of the game. Starts with the power. He had the inning-winning home run back in Tallahassee, first game of the year for the Bananas. And then this is why he's a perfect Tyler Gillum baseball player, because he is a absolute maniac on the base paths, pressure burst pipes, and while he forces errors on the base paths, he has not made an error defensively.
Well, he knew he was stepping into a bigger role with the Bananas this season. Last year, very much a team-first guy and focused on his on-base percentage. Only 3 home runs in 2025. He's already got 3 home runs through a month and some change for the Savannah Bananas. A great defender in the middle of the pack when it comes to trick plays towards the top on the Bananas team. And what's more, you talked about the base running. This guy is uber aggressive, and he is a dirtbag when he is on the diamond.
And naturally, it's tough to have a weekend of Banana Ball without a specialty walk-up for Kyle Jackson, a superstar truly in every aspect of our sport of Banana Ball. And on the mound for the Nanners tonight, another young star for this squad. The number 4 overall pick in the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft. The Nanners first rounder, Austin Drury, coming from the Dodgers minor league system, a few years of Indy Pro Ball, and he has lived up to the billing early on.
Look, he comes out of that Dodger system, and we have seen the talent that they have brought up to the bigs in recent seasons. Drury, he didn't even expect to be a first-round pick, but nonetheless, he has excelled for the Bananas, leading the Banana Ball Championship League in wins, strikeouts, and strikeout to ball 4 sprint rate. And you see at the edge of your screen a 27% strikeout rate. It is not tops in the league, but that is the best mark amongst all qualified starting pitchers.
Yeah, the only 4 pitchers with a higher strikeout percentage than Drury are all primary relievers. One of them is Nick Wilson, and how lucky are we to have Nick Wilson against Austin Drury tonight. Nick only making his 2nd career start for the Clowns.
Yeah, but what you don't want to forget about Nick Wilson, this was a guy who was the Friday night starter at Angelo State last season in his final collegiate season. So he was a frontline guy and knows how to pitch in these situations. He fills up the zone very well. And once again, Austin Drury excelling in pretty much every mark in this rookie campaign, and even averaging his 3 outs in 4 minutes and 15 seconds, which is still better than the tour average right now.
And as incredible as the numbers are that you see on your screen right there, every other number you can find on bananaball.com/stats for these 2 guys. They are also prolific when it comes to goofiness on the mound, and that's very important in Banana Ball as well. Nick Wilson starting his first ever game as a Clown last weekend. Now he gets career start for the Clowns number 2, and a guy who started this year as the closer. We talked about it earlier here on the pregame show. He closed out the Clowns' first ever win in Banana Ball.
But look, this guy is checking all the boxes as far as Banana Ball's concerned. He is top 5 in the Banana Ball Championship League when it comes to the average time it takes him to record 3 outs. A heck of an entertainer as well. You have seen the disco moves on the mound with Nick Wilson out there, and you see he's striking out 29% of batters that he's faced this season. The Clowns have had trouble with ball 4 sprints, but that is not a worry with Wilson getting the ball from the get-go.
Okay, we've talked about the stars, both offensively and on the mound. Let's zoom out now, and from a team perspective, what are the keys to the game for the Clowns and the Bananas?
Well, starting with the Clowns, last weekend against the Coconuts, they had 31 hits, 11 of which were extra base hits. This team was swinging the stick as good as any team has in a single weekend this year. So the Clowns hoping that they can continue that offensive production, and the pitching staff took a big leap as well. Only 4 sprints allowed, and they countered that with 12 strikeouts. So that was a great ratio, and you see through the first 9 games, it was almost 1-to-1, which is not ideal in Banana Ball.
No, it is not.
Now we switch over to the Bananas, and they have had timely hitting all season long. A .336 batting average with runners in scoring position, second best in the Banana Ball Championship League. They've had timely ball 4 sprints as well, and they are leading the Banana Ball Championship League with their 41 stolen bases. The Clowns are in second, and they have 17 fewer than the Savannah Bananas. So this team has been running buck wild, and the Clowns are still yet to throw out a base runner this year. So the Bananas are going to make it tough on them.
Yeah, it'll be fascinating to see Joe Lytle behind the dish here tonight. As you talked about earlier, he was not in Angel Stadium when these two teams faced off 3 weekends ago. When it comes to the Savannah Bananas across the past year, when you are playing teams that are not the party animals, it has been really hard to beat this Nanner squad.
In the regular season, they have a 36-4 record, which is just flabbergasting. And not only that, the team has an OPS north of 900. They're averaging nearly 6.5 runs per game. The pitching staff has been phenomenal, over a 2-to-1 strikeout to ball 4 sprint ratio. But look, despite that 36-4 record in the regular season, you can't forget in the Tour Championship, the Bananas went 1-1 against the Firefighters and lost that series in showdown tiebreakers. This is a single game elimination game, so anything can happen, and the Bananas cannot take anything for granted tonight.
And in game 1 of the playoffs last year, if it was single elimination, the Nanners would have been cooked because the Firefighters took that first game of the 2-game set. Well, all the numbers can explain a whole lot about why the Bananas have had success, but you cannot qualify Reginald Horton. Well, let's zoom in on that. Sam?
Grayson Stadium has stood for a century. Icons of baseball have played on this diamond. But for the past 25 years, one man has brought a legendary amount of energy to the ballpark. Reggie Horton, the current motivational coach for the Bananas, is celebrating his 25th year working at Grayson.
Words cannot describe how fun this is. This is legendary.
Before the trick plays, the viral moments, before the yellow jerseys, Reggie Horton was working at Grayson. In the past 25 years, the Bananas coach has never had a bad day.
Not as I could think of.
You have never had a bad day working at Grayson?
No.
From his dancing to his constant positivity, Coach Horton has become one of the most important people in the organization.
So he started working here the year I was born. And you know, I think when I was born, I felt that energy from him. The energy he brings every day for 25 years. It doesn't matter what he's doing, filling up coolers, taking out the trash, hyping us up, man. He's always gonna have a smile on his face, and that's what we love most about him.
He could be on mile 25 of him walking around the stadium, but he's smiling, having a good time, bringing good energy no matter what the day is, no matter what the weather is. So just a constant light for our team, for our organization, for all the fans that come to the game.
Come on! How does the coach inspire his team? It's a pretty simple formula.
Keep them accountable, keep them locked in, keep them energized.
There's a bond with Coach Reggie that's undeniable. He's part of the Bananas extended family.
You know, taking him to lunch one day or driving him home after a late night, whatever that scenario is, whatever Reggie needs, these guys got him and these guys take care of him, and you know, he's like our brother, you know, so he's part of the family.
In fact, head coach Tyler Gillen believes his team's success and hopes of a championship all start with Coach Reggie.
We couldn't do this without him because that pregame speech before the games is electric, and if we want a dogpile this year in 2026, it's going to be because of that pregame speech.
You got to stay hyped!
Beyond the results of the field, there's no denying that Coach Reggie is interwoven into the history, not just of the Savannah Bananas, but of Grayson Stadium. And according to him, he'll coach for as long as he can.
I cannot imagine myself not being accountable in front of my guys. My guys are very, very, very important to me.
Well, guys, with D.R. Meadows out of the lineup due to injury, the Bananas are turning to a familiar face in Dan Oberst to lead off tonight. Dan, what's the mentality? Biggest game of the year so far.
Yeah, just another game, Sam. The boys are ready. We're dialed in, and we're just grateful for the opportunity. And as far as me, I got Coach Reggie walking me through it, so I'm ready.
Yeah, talk about the influence Reggie is going to have on you tonight. I know you're leaning heavily on him.
Yeah, he stayed the night last night. I think we ended up going to bed around 2:30, watching film. He gave me an approach for the day, so we're ready.
Reggie, can you share with us maybe what you've been passing along to Dan to help him out tonight?
Well, he's been locked in. He's been accountable. He has that man approach to the game that he loves.
Man approach we talked about.
And he keep himself motivated each and every single day. And I can't ask for anything better because I always look up to Mr. Dan Oberst.
Oh, you stop that.
But Oberst is a special guy in my heart. So I want to admire my man Dan Oberst for what he do for Banana Ball and the Savannah Bananas, which is legendary. It's very achievable because what he did for the game he loved, which is Banana Ball. It's amazing. It's fantastic. You cannot ask for anything better. It's mind-setting. I mean,
Reggie, one big note for Dan and the Banana Side. You have what would you yell right now if you could, really loud?
Come on!
Fire me up, Reginald Horton. Can you believe he's been doing it for a quarter century here in Grayson Stadium? Time to get even more fired up. I can't imagine how. Well, let's check in with the young professor.
And millions more watching at home have gathered here to witness something beyond your wildest imagination. From Montana to Savannah, from the Isle of Man to Tokyo, Japan, the Banana Maniacs come from across the globe to witness this. This is not baseball. This is the crucible where the fastest, hungriest, and most entertaining players are forced. This is a game of the fans, by the fans, and for the fans. But this is not your granddad's pastime. This is not just another night at the ballpark. This game is baseball by birth, fruit by name, and an absolute worldwide phenomenon by the grace of God. This is the time for all 5,500 fans here in Savannah, Georgia, to get on your feet and give me your voices. Because this is the greatest show in the sports. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Banana
Savannah, Georgia, it's time to meet the starting lineup for your Savannah Bananas. Leading off, the DH number 19, Dan Oberst. Center fielder number 2, Reese Superman Alexiades. At first base, number 9, Max Young Goldberg. Over at third base, number 4, Kyle K.J. Jackson. The catcher, number 1, the captain, Bill Leroy. Our second baseman, number 8, the greatest showman, Jackson Olsen. Left fielder, number 15, we call him Rack, Robert Anthony Cruz. In right field, number 18, he does it all, Danny Hosley. extra hitter number 7, Ty Two Fly Jackson. And the shortstop, number 6, Hard Glove Magician, Ryan Cox. On the mound for your Savannah Bananas tonight, number 11, Austin Drury. Your Savannah Bananas are led by Tyler Gillum, assisted by Adam Pyro Virant, Ryan Kellogg, Bryce Stover, and Reggie Horton. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise, if you're able, and remove your caps. Here to honor America with the singing of tonight's national anthem, please welcome U.S. Army Specialist Emma Mangiacotti.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, Emma Mangiacotti.
A terrific rendition of the national anthem. And now the Savannah Bananas and the Indianapolis Clowns meet behind the mound. A kick line to get us going. The inaugural Banana Ball Open, the 10-1 Savannah Bananas against the 4-7 Indianapolis Clowns, the 1 seed against the 4 seed. It's the 3rd time these teams have squared off. 3 weekends ago in Angel Stadium out in Anaheim, California, it was the Bananas sweeping the 2-game set, but this Clowns team coming off a 2-game sweep of their own, taking down the Indianapolis Clowns last Friday and Saturday night up in Charleston, South Carolina, earning themselves this 4 seed and a chance to make a Cinderella story type run with a playoff spot on the line for the champion of this Banana Ball Open. Take a look at the Nanos defensive alignment with D.R. Meadows out for the weekend with his pulled hamstring from last weekend up in Chapel Hill. You take a look left to right in the outfield. It is Robert Anthony Cruz, Reese Alexiadis, and Danny Hosley. Third to first in the infield, the usual suspects this year. Kyle Jackson, Ryan Cox, Jackson Olsen, and Max Young-Goldberg. As per usual, Bill Leroy behind the dish, and Alex Ziegler, the designated fielder.
Alexiadis, normally the right fielder for the Bananas. He is stepping into big shoes tonight with D.R. Meadows out this weekend due to a hamstring injury. He's the man leading the team in trick play, so they will need to try and pick some up without having D.R. Meadows here. Hopefully they'll get some from designated fielder Alex Ziegler. Of course, the designated fielder can enter at any position on any individual inning. And for Alex Ziegler, you will likely see him playing first base for a majority of the game tonight in place of Max Young-Goldberg.
Yeah, Ziggy with a pair of trick plays in each of last weekend's games as the Bananas swept the Texas Tailgaters to make it their 5th and 6th straight victory. And a guy who dazzled on the bump, 3 scoreless innings, well, 1 unearned run with 6 punch-outs. Austin Drury, talked about him on the pregame show, but this guy has been exactly what the Nanners thought they were getting when they grabbed him with the 4th overall pick in the draft.
Well, entering that Banana Ball player draft, many had him the #1 left-handed pitcher on their big boards. That has certainly been the case through the first month and some change this year. Drury with 5 starts this year, leading the tour with 3 wins. He's 7th in the championship league with 16 1/3 innings pitched. And a stat that is kind of flying under the radar that Drury is also leading in, he has the lowest ball four sprint rate of any pitcher. He has only allowed sprints to 2.7% of the total batters he's seen this year.
That is a recipe for success in our young sport of banana ball. Talk about a prolific offense, though. The Indianapolis Clowns last Friday night set a banana ball record with 22 hits. Joe Gray Jr. is at the top of the lineup, then Jackie Bradley Jr., followed by Bobby Leday, and then Joe Lido cleaning it up. 5 in the order is Mr. Nico Holsizer, followed by Correll Prime, Chris Burgess, Eli Payton, Dale Francis Jr., and then Jalen Vasquez rounds it out.
Despite the Bananas starting a southpaw, it's 2 lefties in this Clowns lineup that I'm focusing on. Jackie Bradley Jr. coming off the cycle last weekend, and Joe Lido batting above 400 at 448. And this Clowns team batted .333 against Drury when they faced him in Anaheim.
One of the only teams that have actually had any kind of offensive success against AD. Let's get it on down to Jesse.
Banana Nation, it is time. On 3, I need everyone here to yell, start the clock. 1, 2, 3. Showtime.
And we are off. A combined 12 years of minor league baseball experience between Austin Drury and Joe Gray Jr. A brand new scoreboard for you here for the Banana Ball Open. It is game 1 of the semifinals. Win or go home between the Bananas and the Clowns. And a quick 0-2 count on the former Brewers and Royals farmhand. And a good fight from Joe Gray Jr., although the batting average only at .216, 5 ball, 4 sprints this year to just 3 strikeouts. He's been putting the ball in play a lot, just had some bad luck. And he's able to lay off the high heat here, count 1 and 2.
But that luck started to turn in his favor last weekend. On Friday night, had his first career 3-hit game in Banana Ball.
Another great piece of 2-strike hitting by the kid out of Carson, Mississippi. As farm boy as they come. And a pop, mile high in the infield. Who's going to take control? Max Young Goldberg with the call and the catch, 1 away.
Good call from Max Young Goldberg, taking charge over that one. You just hope, even this early in the ball game, that's not a possible trick play opportunity that you robbed yourself of. Of course, the Bananas goal tonight is try and negate the Clowns from earning the equalizer point, which the visiting team can get if they have more trick plays than the home team going into the final inning.
Here is JBJ, the player of the week, hitting for the cycle last Friday night. Only the 3rd player in Banana Ball history to do so. Joins Jake Skoll, who's done it twice, and Kyle Jackson, who had done it just 2 weekends before against the Clowns in Angel Stadium. And now a ball and 2 strikes. Nasty slaughter there from Drury, part of his 5-pitch mix. Goes right back to it and gets a K of Jackie Bradley Jr. Austin Drury's tour-leading 21st strikeout of the year.
Well, that's just exploiting a weakness that you're able to identify early. Bradley flailing through the 1-1 pitch. Leroy wants to go right back to it. And Drury, after allowing a home run to JBJ the first time they ever faced off, has now struck him out each of the last 2 times he's faced him.
Good revenge after JBJ parked one in Angel Stadium out to left center field. And now a ball and a strike on Bobby Leday, the shortstop hitting 3rd. He was the first Clowns pick in the 2nd round of the draft. And a guy we thought could go #1 overall. That was, of course, without the knowledge that JBJ was available. And a 3-1 count on Leday. Comes in hitting .279, reaching base at a .373 clip. Good pop in the bat. Had his 2nd homer of the tour last weekend, as the count is run full.
And added on a double, 2 runs batted in as well for the Indianapolis Clowns.
Foul tip. Bill Leroy is not able to stick it. So Leday will live to see another payoff from Drury. Foul tipped again. Once again off the mid of Leroy. See Drury going right after Leday with fastballs. He's got 3 different variations: 4-seam, 2-seam cutter, changeup, and then the slider that he struck out Jackie Bradley Jr. on.
And you'll see early in these ball games, it's Drury. He lives and dies by that fastball.
Another payoff. Another foul ball. Heck of a battle between 2 of the best players in the sport. First rounder on the mound, second rounder in the box. 9th pitch of the battle. Fouled back, and we're gonna get a 10th. Leroy keeps putting down number ones. The fastballs keep pouring in. Leday keeps spoiling them. 10th pitch is fouled away. We'll do it again.
Well, this is what you're going to get with Drury. We mentioned the lowest ball four sprint rate in banana ball. You're seeing exactly why. Continued payoff pitches and continued strikes poured in by Drury.
The 11th pitch of the at bat, and it is going to be a little looper. Down for a knock in right field. Leday with the turn, but he will not run on the powerful arm of Danny Hosley. That's a quality at bat. All caps from Bobby Leday. Draws 11 pitches out of the Nanners ace and ends up with a flare single.
Drury, though, a seasoned veteran. I mean, this is a guy who's pitched in the Dodger system, handful of seasons in independent ball as well. Even though those will frustrate you as a pitcher, he's mature enough where that just isn't something that's going to eat away at him on the pitcher's mound.
Slider just misses to Joe Lytle, who has started his 4th World Tour absolutely scorching hot. Was a party animal back in 2023, a firefighter for the last 2 tours. Now moves over to the Indianapolis Clowns, and he's been a superstar. Through 9 games this year, leading the team, hitting .448. Same goes for his .538 on base percentage. Chopper to the left side. Cox attacking, tough hop, and he's got no play. Lytle runs very well for a catcher. It's an infield single and a couple softly hit knocks. Has 2 runners on the base paths for the Clowns. Malachi Mitchell, the designated runner for Indianapolis, will take over for Lytle at first.
That's where the dimensions of Grayson Stadium kind of help you out in a sense. This place with AstroTurf in the infield, you get a high chop pounding that banana ball into the ground. Cox had to adjust, and by the time he got glove on it, Lytle nearly at first base, and that's why you saw no throw from the banana shortstop.
Shattered bat, slow roller. Cox fielded between the legs, 360, makes the only play he had over at first base, and puts a close to this top of the 1st inning. A couple singles for the Clowns, but nothing to show for it, as the glove magician nabs the first trick play of the ball game for the Bananas.
And a much needed trick play, a clutch one at that, with a man in scoring position. No problem for Ryan Cox, still Banana Ball's all-time trick play leader.
Take a look at the Indianapolis Clowns defensive alignment. Behind Nick Wilson, left to right in their outfield, it is Gray, Bradley, and Holsizer, 3rd to 1st in the infield. Peyton, Leday, Vasquez, and Prime. It is Lytle doing the catching, and Mr. Matt Wolf here in his 5th Banana Ball World Tour as the designated fielder.
What's the rookie shortstop, Bobby Leday, leading the team with 18 trick plays this season. But his partner over on the left side of the diamond, Eli Payton, has been phenomenal defensively, still without an error through his first 11 games, and has a trick play in 10 of his first 11 for Indianapolis.
And only 1 trick play missed on the year for Eli Payton. No surprise, he was the runner-up for the Gold Glove a couple springs ago in D1 baseball. In the middle of it all, Nick Wilson actually walking off the diamond, as we've got some kids in ghost costumes. I guess some confusion down on the field, but let's focus in on the fantastic numbers for Nick Wilson, getting his 2nd career Banana Ball start.
Yeah, round 3 pick for the Indianapolis Clowns in the Banana Ball player draft. A 1-1 record this season, and this is only his 2nd career Banana Ball start. but Nick Wilson has been phenomenal, ranking 5th in the Banana Ball Championship League, averaging 3 outs in 3 minutes and 35 seconds. And he tossed a 2 minute and 28 second scoreless inning against the Bananas on March 28th.
Last weekend in his first start, 2 1/3 innings, only 1 earned run allowed. This Bananas lineup without their normal leadoff man, D.R. Meadows, but you take a look at what Dan Oberst has done this year in his 4th, check it, make it a 5th World Tour, hitting .389, not too bad at all, followed by Reese Alexiadis, Max Young-Goldberg, then KJ in the cleanup spot, followed by Leroy Olson, Rack Hosley, Ty Jackson, and Ryan Cox.
And the very interesting note about the Savannah Bananas, in games where D.R. Meadows is not in the starting lineup and batting leadoff for them, they have a 500 record. They have a 500 winning percentage compared to a 636 winning percentage when Meadows is the man leading off for them.
Oh, look out. Off screen, Nick Wilson just got hit by a throw from his catcher, Joe Lytle. No harm done there. Talking to Tyler Gillum before the game about how do you replace D.R. Meadows, he said it came down to who do I want to get the most plate appearances in this ball game, and it's Dan Oberst, who's been hitting cleanup every single game this year up until tonight. And as the fastball misses down and in from Nick Wilson.
But this isn't exactly unfamiliar territory for Dan Oberst. 9 games in which he's batted leadoff for the Bananas in his career, and he owns a .448 batting average with 6 extra base hits, including 2 home runs.
Slider misses there, 2-1 now. High fly ball, deep to right field. Nico Holsizer on his horse, makes the catch, crashing into the wall. It was a diving catch by Holsizer to secure the sweep last weekend. Great play to start the Banana Ball Open defensively for Holsizer here tonight.
Hold on a minute, son. In here, mate.
What a trio. Alexiadis with the rookies Besser and Harris. A specialty walk-up for the second batter here in the bottom of the first inning. Super Reese has been in the 2-hole now for all 12 games this year. And fantastic here in his 3rd World Tour, hitting .316, a .460 on base percentage, tied for the team lead with his 8-ball 4 sprints. Liner down the left field line. It will dunk down for a knock. Alexiadis looking for 2 and a head-first slide just ahead of the throw from Joe Gray Jr. Inning-winning run in scoring position just like that.
Well, the way in which that banana ball dropped down in left field took a little bit of a high hop on Joe Gray, and you see Alexiadis immediately booking it out of the batter's box. He was pretty much thinking 2 bases for the jump. And now the Bananas already with a runner in scoring position tonight.
Now the Bananas' 2nd round draft picks. Max Young-Goldberg. Foul ball out of play, not catchable by the fans. Coming off a very odd weekend in Chapel Hill. As he's down just like that, 3 pitches. No hits last weekend, but 3 ball 4 sprints, as well as 3 hit by pitches. Raised the OBP, it'll go, well, it'll stay at 0. Banana Ball Open offense and pitching numbers will not count towards the regular season. So no harm done to the season stats, but it does put Nick Wilson and the Clowns 1 out away from escaping. As the fastball just misses the outside corner, a ball and a strike to Kyle Jackson. Popped. Left side, Joe Lytle runs out of room.
We mentioned,
1-2 count.
And we mentioned in the pregame show, Jackson towards the top of the leaderboard when it comes to runs batted in. That is in large part to a .400 batting average with runners in scoring position, which includes a ball 4 sprint as well.
Liner will be snagged. Jalen Vasquez there to save the frame for the Clowns. Bananas got the inning-winning run in scoring position. Nick Wilson able to strand Alexiadis on the base paths.
Good job by Wilson escaping the jam in a 2-minute and 52-second inning for the young right-hander.
So we are scoreless through 1 inning of action. The pitcher's duel between Drury and Wilson living up to the billing. 1 frame in. Jesse Cole, as well as the Bananas players, delivering roses to our fans in the stands, trying to find their sweethearts. You know who else are sweethearts? Well, for me personally, I would say our friends over at Geico. Geico and the Banana Ball Championship League are teaming up to send one lucky winner of the ultimate fan experience to the 2026 Banana Ball Championship game on October 10th. Win 4 tickets, airfare, hotel, and a VIP on-field player experience. Go to itfeelsgoodtogobananas.com to enter.
Rumor has it you can even meet Biko Scala.
Huh?
Crazy, I know.
I didn't know I was a part of the deal. Sign me up. I'm in, Geico.
I think I'm going to enter. I'm going to go ahead and enter.
I don't know if that's allowed, but good luck, Josh. I was thinking you were going to be there anyway. I'm pretty sure the company covers your airfare, right?
Gosh, I hope so. Oh, man.
They've been putting you in hotels too, right? You haven't been taking care of that.
Dude, I'm scared of the bills I might see in my mail soon.
Correll Prime leading off the 2nd inning. Chops this one just barely foul. Trey Hudson, the crew chief, on the mark to make the call. Prime time spent the end of 2024 with the Bananas, the entire 2025 campaign in yellow as well. And then the 2nd first-round draft pick by the Clowns this past November. And a no-brainer. He's been at first base nearly every game. Just a phenomenally talented 2-way player, both with the bat and on the bump. Comes in hitting .250, but he's a guy who said he's always been a bit of a slow starter. Once he finds his groove, and Brett Helton, who spent a bunch of years out in Fargo, North Dakota with Prime playing in the American Association, attests to this as well. Once he gets hot, he could be the best hitter in the world.
I mean, this is a guy who was named the 2014 Colorado Rockies Organizational Player of the Year, had 47 doubles, 21 home runs that season. And now Prime lines this one in front of Robert Anthony Cruz in left field. And that is a 2nd inning leadoff knock for Prime time.
Specialty walk-up coming here for the Clowns.
Signing with the Savannah Bears as a 17-year-old in 1956. He went on to have a 20-year career in baseball, including 2 seasons with the Indianapolis Clowns in 1960, and also serving his country in the Vietnam War. Grayson Stadium now escorting Chris Burgess to the plate. Please join us in welcoming Indianapolis Clowns alumni, Russell Crazy Legs Patterson.
All right, Russell Crazy Legs Patterson showing off why he's got the legendary nickname. How about the dance moves? That is special right there. What a pleasant surprise.
They never go away. So don't forget that when you're older, my friend.
I'm hoping
you can still break it down like that.
No doubt.
If you've got some moves on you.
My legs have been labeled crazy from time to time. Well, Russell Patterson, star with the Indianapolis Clowns in the 1960s. Another 2-way player, just like Correll Prime, standing on first base. Guy who pitched, played in the outfield and infield, and a massive advocate for the Negro Leagues and all the tremendous ball players who played in them. Chris Burgess having a terrific start to his Clowns career, hitting .333. As that's a screamer straight to KJ. Great base running by Prime, as he will not be doubled up. And Burgess, an absolute barrel, nothing to show for it.
Yeah, that's one that gets on you pretty quick. It's the reason they call it the hot corner over at third base. Kyle Jackson's been holding that spot down for the most part since the start of 2025. And now Drury going to work against Eli Payton and nailing down the first pitch strike.
Make it an 0-2 count on the kid out of La Canada, California. Another great start to his Clowns career. Comes in hitting .294. Should be no surprise. Tore up the Western Athletic Conference across the last 3 years for Grand Canyon University. An .814 OPS his final year with the Antelopes, and then crushed it in the Pioneer League last summer in his professional baseball debut.
And throughout college, Payton also a guy who was upping his home run totals every season. He had 9 in 2025, his final year at Grand Canyon, but he will go down swinging. Another breaking ball from Austin Drury results in the strikeout.
Yeah, it looked like a sharp slider from AD. Maybe even a cutter there. Not sure if it's exactly where he wanted it, but it did the job. Big second out for Drury. He sets his sights on Dale Francis Jr. Now I sound like a broken record, but this bottom of the Clowns lineup is absolutely fantastic. Dale Francis Jr. is having a terrific rookie campaign. Comes in hitting .321, a homer and 3 doubles. And once again, should be no surprise. His offensive numbers coming into Banana Ball fantastic as well. Barehanded by KJ, and a laser beam across the diamond. Taking care of Dale Francis. Another scoreless inning hurled by Austin Drury.
And 2 excellent plays from Kyle Jackson in this inning. The liner over at third base and a barehanded play to retire Dale Francis Jr.
Well, we have debuted our brand new scorebug here tonight. Let's take a moment to honor the wonderful scorebugs that have come before it. Gosh, that was tough.
At ease, Pico, at ease.
Whew. Just thinking about the memories that we have made with all those score bugs.
Did you have a favorite? Did you have one that touched you more than another?
I do. For 3 innings, the fantastic score bug, that Chad Reese designed for.
And Chris Haynes.
Yeah, that's right, Chris Hainesy. 3 of the best innings in Banana Ball history. Party Animals versus the Aussie Drop Bears on the 2023 World Tour before Mother Nature had other plans here in Grayson Stadium. Josh and I were decked out in Party Animals gear up here in the booth. We were feeling ourselves.
I had my hot AF headband on.
That was a really fun series and a fun ball game as well, as Bill Leroy chops that foul. Leroy, Olsen, and Cruz due to swing it here in the last of the second. Billy Barrels, his 5th World Tour, 9th year as a Savannah Banana. The king of Dublin, Georgia, from about an hour and a half down I-16, aging like a fine wine. Had his first home run of the year last weekend in Chapel Hill in Opotaka. Tried to double his total right there, came up empty. And down swinging, firm fastball from Nick Wilson, his second punch out of the night.
Well, Nick Wilson, he's got somewhat of a long-ish delivery. You'll see him just arc back, and he is hiding that ball behind him for a pretty good length of time. So it is very hard to pick up that ball once it gets on you. And that's why he's able to blow the fastball there behind Bill Leroy.
Jackson Olsen swings through the heater. Ball and a strike on the Great 8 here in his 4th Banana Ball World Tour. He's the Nanners' primary third baseman in 2023. This is his 3rd straight year as the primary starting second baseman. And the career goes all the way back to the Summer Series in 2022 when he made his debut on the left side of the infield with Ryan Cox. The rest is history. Heater. Wow, yes, freezes Olsen. Long wait for the call from Vincent Chapman, but worth the wait for Nick Wilson.
Well, this kind of tees up just another note on Nick Wilson. I mean, you go back and watch some young Greg Maddox Chicago Cubs highlights, you'll see in ways these guys are very similar in the way they deliver the ball from that pitcher's mound. And you see also on that pitch to Jackson Olsen, pinpoint control from the young right-hander.
Robert Anthony Cruz, a high fly ball, deep to right field. Holsizer running out of room. It's on top of the right field landing. Rack has awoken. Inning winning. Long bombs away here in the 2nd.
He's finding his groove for the Savannah Bananas at the right time. A clutch game-tying shot in Game 1 in Chapel Hill last weekend. And now the walk-off blast to open up the scoring here in Game 1 of the Open.
Let's get it down to DR Meadows.
Rack, you just got the Bananas on top 1-0 in the 2nd inning. How do you feel right now? It feels amazing. I'm so excited. Back you be going, Josh.
Thank you, DR. Talk about pleasant surprises. I didn't know we employed David Ray Meadows in BTV. Another look at the blast from Robert Anthony Cruz. No doubter out to right. He doubles his home run total on the tour. And the Nanners strike first. They lead 1-0. 2 innings in the books. And what a start to World Tour number 3, his 2nd full season in Banana Ball. Kyle Jackson already tonight. Beautiful barehanded snag on the bouncer from Dale Francis Jr. Snared a screamer from Chris Burgess before that, and now joins us on the broadcast. KJ, how you doing tonight, my friend?
I'm doing well.
Heck yeah.
I'm doing amazing.
Can you talk us through what the 2nd full World Tour has been like for you so far?
It's been, honestly, I can't really remember anything from like a week ago. Everything happened so fast. But I'll tell you what, these guys, they work so hard in the practices and in our rehearsal days, and it just translates on the field during games. Yeah, Ziggy. All of the hard work's coming to fruition.
Yeah, I'm sure that certainly felt like the case in Anaheim a couple weekends ago. What was it like to kind of go through that cycle? I mean, you completed that in only 5 innings for your squad.
That's right. It was amazing. I feel like it was kind of one of those things that was going to happen before the game even started. After I hit the single, I don't really even remember my at-bats or what pitch I hit or any of that. I just kind of was broken bat. Do a trick.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
him. You're him. Pick it, Ziggy.
Wow.
In the nuts. You gotta hustle. You gotta hustle. He would have been safe.
So it'll be a trick play for Ryan Cox.
Yeah, it
no
is.
trick play for Alex Ziegler.
That's okay though, because we got that out. Did the bat hit AD?
A shattered bat. I was looking at where the ball went.
Same.
It went in AD's direction, that's for sure.
I cannot hear anything in the stadium. I can only hear you.
Perfect. That's exactly how we like it.
And golly, I have chills.
Oh, you're too kind, KJ.
And I can see you up there. Like, I can see your body. Like, hey, Josh, hey, big guy.
Perfectly well, right?
Love you guys.
Love you too, man.
Oh, hey, Chad.
Nice.
Got the whole crew.
Am I supposed to be doing something? Oh.
We got a specialty walk-up for Joe Gray Jr.
For me.
That was a great spin you did.
Hold on, what? Don't hit it to me. I'm gonna do a trick play. Okay.
Oh man, this is an all-time jam.
It's a pretty good song. I can't hear it, but.
It's the old, we want the funk, gotta have that funk. Gotta have that funk. Ow. A little Parliament Funkadelic.
I hope he hits it to me. What should I do? Something crazy?
I would love something crazy.
All right, I'll try.
Okay. Ground ball fielded behind the back, between the legs.
Yep. I've been practicing that one. I've never done it in a game, though, but you see me do it.
I've seen you do it many times.
All right, I'll do it
practice.
right here.
Get your daily vitamins in.
Here we go. You hear my chains rattling?
Oh yeah, they're chattering.
Yep.
They've got something to say.
Do your chains hang low? Do they wobble to the flow? Someone, nope, that's gonna hit my truck.
Oh no. Right where you parked, huh?
No, I didn't park there. My friend drove my car and he parked there, I promise. Strike three! I thought.
You have to check out KJ's social media after the game to see if that did connect on the truck.
Stay tuned, y'all.
Another 2-2 to Joe Gray Jr.
Has to be a trick play catch from my man Haas. Long or
run.
Normal catch.
Oh my goodness! Behind the back, that's absurd!
What was that?
I'm not even sure if Danny Hosley knew what he was exactly doing.
No, for real, what was that?
He went behind the back, just
Bro worse than me.
Truly ridiculous fashion.
Bro literally is worse than me.
And it was pretty close to a snow cone as well.
I wonder what flavor it was. Come on, Jackie Bradley, hit one to me, brother. Here it comes. He can hit it everywhere. Like, he's one of the lefties where you kind of have to, you know, be ready for something. Pro hitter.
No doubt.
Yep, pop it, pop it. Here we go. I need a trick, yo. Oh, yeah! Give it to me.
Come on.
Give it to him. 6, great pop. I love you. Well, that was quick, bro. Can I stay on and hit with it or what?
That sounds good to me. Why not, right? I'm cool with it. Heck yeah. Well, maybe we'll talk soon then.
I'll just stay with you guys. I love hearing your voice, so I'm just gonna keep it going.
Heck yeah. Well, we'll toss it down to Jolie, and then we'll chat later. See you, KJ.
Keep up the work, KJ.
In foster care without a permanent home. To raise awareness and support this community, we created Bananas Foster, the official nonprofit of Banana Ball. Our organization is dedicated to celebrating the foster care community while educating and inspiring others to get involved. Tonight, we are celebrating the Davis family. Tim and Kim have been a licensed foster family for 8 years. They have 6 biological children. They've adopted 3 out of foster care, and they're dedicated to keeping siblings together in their home. In total, they have welcomed 11 children and teens, and they are currently parenting 15 kiddos. Fans, please welcome to the field the Davis family for making a difference right here in our community.
Another massive shout out in store for Timothy and Kimberly Davis. 15 kids in the home. Sounds like a heck of a film right there. I mean, there's cheaper by the dozen. 15, holy moly. That is truly tremendous work. The Davis family making a difference in so many kids' lives in 2 states. Doing their job in Florida and Georgia.
2 states?
Yeah. The Banana Band blasts away as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Hello to everybody in our chat here on the Banana Ball YouTube channel. So great to see so many familiar faces. Great comment from Big Boy in the chat. I'll leave it in there. It's a good one, though. Oh, it's fun seeing Sexy Sax, Dylan, Nick, the entire crew doing what they love to do. Blaring away on the brass. You know, Brian, Sexy Sax, he was getting on my case in Chapel Hill last weekend because I didn't let him know we were going to that Pigeons Playing Ping Pong concert a few weeks ago.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I guess a month ago now or so.
I didn't know he was in the area for it.
I didn't know either.
There's a guy who's spending a lot of time up in Dogtown these days.
Athens boy, exactly. But yeah, he's good friends with the band, unsurprisingly so. Planning to play with them in the future.
That's crazy.
Which makes sense. Danny Hosley coming off that mind-bending trick play in the top of the inning.
Only Hosley's second this year in 2026. Trick play number 101 in his career.
And what a career it has been. This is now World Tour number 4 for Danny Do-It-All. Awaiting a 3-0 offering from Nick Wilson. Only 1 for 9 so far this year, but a couple ball 4 sprints, has not struck out. And that was a very easy plate appearance for the Nanners right fielder. Does not take the bat off his shoulders. Clowns with great sprint defense get it to all 7 fielders behind the pitcher and catcher in short order. But the inning-winning run, a gift from Wilson, is aboard.
Yeah, Hosley may just be 1 for 9 at the moment, but it's his 3rd ball 4 sprint now in 2026. Also tacked on a hit by pitch through the first 11 games. And it's a big leadoff runner on as Ty Jackson now bats for the Bananas and takes ball 1.
Ty here in his 3rd World Tour, 5th year as a Savannah Banana. Hosley off on the pitch, throw from Lytle. It was perfect, but not in time. Ball got away from Wolf as well. Hosley stole that one on Wilson, and also just his burning speed after a fantastic jump. That's his first stolen base attempt here in 2026. His 34th career steal. He's only been caught 3 times.
Yeah, he is super smart when it comes to his base running ability. And now with that stolen base and a 3-1 count, a ball 4 sprint to Ty Jackson leads to a 2nd point already tonight for the Savannah Bananas.
Big swing and a miss from Hosley's best friend in the universe, Ty Two Fly, trying to bring in his buddy. Inseparable duo, Hosley and Jackson, as Ty spoils the payoff.
Ty is coming off a killer game. 2 hits last weekend, 3 stolen bases, so he's got a lot of confidence coming into tonight's game and spoils yet another pitch coming from Nick Wilson. We will see at least 8 pitches between these 2 competitors.
Another 3-2, and Ty spoils it. It's so fun to see these guys battle because they actually played together in the HBCU Classic in Seattle, the first ever.
In 2023.
No doubt. And a swing and a miss. Wilson wins the war. 4th strikeout of the game for Nick. It's really primarily just fastball slider for Nick Wilson, which makes his performance that much more impressive. He'll work in a changeup from time to time. But a 2-pitch mix from a starting pitcher is pretty unheard of. Quick 0-2 count on Ryan Cox, putting up video game numbers here in his 5th World Tour, hitting 400, on-base percentage, .515. You see the OPS, 1.235. It's crazy what Cox has been able to do with the stick as he sends that one into left field. Stop sign for Danny Hosley. Joe Gray's got a cannon and was playing pretty far in.
Yeah, despite being the man in left field, Joe Gray Jr. might have the best arm out of any of the Clowns defenders who roam that outfield. That is a wise stop sign from Tyler Gillum, and he can do that sort of thing knowing he's back up to the top of the order, and he has Dan Oberst in the box.
Fastball just misses the outside corner. And this right here, talked about it Dan's first time up, is why Tyler Gillum has him in the leadoff spot. He wants Dan Oberst hitting as much as possible. Baltimore chop left side. Eli Payton will get the out at first, but it's a walk-off. That's a situation where Payton kind of had his baseball brain on. You really just have to let that ball go and hope it goes foul, because the inning is lost if you field it. Oberst will take the ribeye, his 11th of the season, and trade that for a ground out to third any day. It's also his third walk-off of the year as Ty Jackson's trying to find the right song. Maceo Harrison approves, and somehow the entire Bananas team had a choreographed dance ready for it. Magic of Banana Land. Let's get it down to Brandon and Jarius. 2-0 Bananas.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we love here at Banana Ball, and tonight we want to celebrate the essence and power of that love. Here I've got Chelsea and Jared, and over here to my right I've got Bobby and Angie, and we understand that it's been a while since these fellas have serenaded their wives. So tonight we're going to put them to the test. Jarius and I are going to sing for you fellas, but you have to lip sync what we're singing, all right? And Savannah, it's going to be up to you, the fans, to decide who wins their honey's heart tonight. This is Will You Be Mine. DJ, hit it. I know you want to leave me, but I refuse to let you go. If I have to beg and plead for your sympathy, I don't mind, 'cause you mean that much to me. Ain't too proud to beg, and you know it. Please don't leave me, girl, don't you go. Ain't too proud to plead, baby. Please don't leave me, girl, don't you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jared. Jarius, who we got over there? Bobby, show us what you got.
I got the Brent couple with me, and how long have you guys been married?
15 years.
All right, let's see what they got. DJ, hit it.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. If you're on it.
Oh no, he's coming out of the shoes. Oh my goodness. Oh, he's coming out of the shirt. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. That's quite enough. All right, Savannah, it is time for you, the fans, to decide. Is it Chelsea and Jared? Or was it Bobby and Angie? That is Will You Be
Mine? That's good to see some of our other teams here in the Banana Ball world enjoying the Open. Of course, Party Animals, here the Indianapolis Clowns, the only two teams who did not make the cut.
Well, you get to learn a little more about your competition despite the fact that you're not playing in this Open. It's still a long season that you've got ahead of you. And these Party Animals and Loco Beach Coconuts also get to be here to help create fans' first moments throughout the weekend as well.
Bobby Leday, blast out to left, sayonara! Smashed into the left field, landing, and the Clowns with a counterpunch offensively.
I mean, this guy's seeing the ball very well out of the hand of Austin Drury. Had a double against him in Anaheim. Now 2 for 2 against AD. And for more with Leday, Michael's got him.
Woo! Roll your boat. How did that feel in the first ever Banana Ball Open?
Oh yeah, that felt great. You know what I'm saying? Just locked in right there, like I said last time. And, you know, we got to keep it going now.
Is Crazy Legs over here some good luck? Is Crazy Legs good luck?
Oh yeah, I would definitely say so.
All right, we got good luck. Back up to you guys.
Alex Ziegler trying to go behind the back on what would have been a trick play for Ryan Cox. Can't come up with it.
Well, this is kind of the interesting thing. You saw the Leday home run. Now Lytle reaching on a trick play missed. Clowns, they are the only team to have really hit Austin Drury pretty hard this season. had 6 hits against him, scored 4 runs against D. No other team has had more than 5 hits or 2 runs scored against the Banana Southpaw.
Malachi Mitchell dancing it up. Ziggy, his hype man. Seth Markham doing some grooving over there as well. Oh, now Ziggy's joining in on the dance. Oh, boy. The shenanigans are nonstop. Nico Holsizer, new man at the plate. Fastball misses just up. And Flash safe on the pickoff attempt over at first base. And now he's caught. Ziggy gives to Cox. Cox tracks down his former teammate himself. Perfectly executed pickoff by Austin Drury.
Yeah, those lefty moves, they are so tough, and clearly Malachi Mitchell just caught leading a little too much. Drury keeping his eye on him after that dance. And now, man taken off the base pass, but Holsizer continues with the 2-0 count.
Yeah, Bender just misses there. Nico grounded out to Ryan Cox his first time as the slider gets the zone. 6 years of minor league baseball experience for Holsizer. Started in the Dodgers organization about 1.5 years, then traded to the Tampa Bay Rays. And a heck of an eye on the slider. 3-2 pitch with 1 away. Slow bouncer, Kyle Jackson between the legs, you bet. Second trick play of the ball game for KJ.
Making that one look nice and easy over at third base. Yet another nice play. You see the transition between the legs, seamless for Jackson. And now the Bananas up to 6 trick plays in the ballgame. The Clowns still without one.
Correll Prime, did he go? Seth Markham says no. Line drive single, first time around for prime time. This is part of this Clowns lineup. Really impresses with the baseball talent, the resumes as well. Got a 6-year minor league guy in Holsizer, hands the bat off to a 7-year minor league guy in Correll Prime. Lifted to the right side. Hosley is gonna run out of room. No play by the fans either. Prime 6 years in the Rockies organization, finished up with 1 year as a Texas Rangers farmhand. And he's got himself his second hit of the night. Great piece of inside-out hitting. Prime aboard with 2 away.
And he's battled to a degree against Austin Drury as well. 6 pitches the first time. Fouled off a couple 2-strike offerings before getting the the knock to left field his first time up. And now Prime with a nice opposite field knock here in the top of the 4th.
You got guys who crossed over for 1 year in the American Association. It was Prime's last year with the Fargo-Moorhead Red Hawks and Drury's first year in Indy Pro Ball with the Sioux City Explorers. Fans want donuts. Fastball gets the bottom of the zone. 2 balls and a strike on Chris Burgess. Smashed the ball his first time, but straight to KJ at third. This can only be caught by the fans. They don't make the play in the second level of that right field deck. And the parade of former minor leaguers continues. Burgess, the guy who spent 3 years in the Baltimore Orioles farm system, 4 years of independent professional baseball after that. A .925 OPS last year in the Frontier League. Started in Troy, New York, finished in Quebec, Canada. How about that for a season of baseball? Deuce is wild here in the top of the 4th. Broken bat, base knock. He's going to try and, no, he will slam the brakes. Respect to the right arm of Danny Hosley. And a couple ducks on the pond now for Eli Payton.
Well, I'll tell you, outside of the home run from Bobby Leday, the other hits we have seen the Indianapolis Clowns collect tonight have not been particularly hard hit. The same can be said there for Burgess. But nice to see the Clowns at least getting some offensive momentum going here in the 4th inning against AD.
Quick 0-2 count on Payton. He struck out swinging his first time. And that's the banana ball gods giving one back to Burgess. Took what should have been a knock away from him the first time. Came back around. Good fight by Payton, still in a 1-2 hole. Knifes that foul, look out. Eli, one of the 8th round draft picks by the Clowns. Fantastic so far as a rookie, trying to bring in his teammates. Soft contact, Kyle Jackson in foul territory, makes the catch right up against the fence, and a fist bump from a fan as Drury strands a pair.
A little fans first moment for Kyle Jackson, but nevertheless, how about Bobby Leday? A big leadoff home run in the 4th inning against Austin Drury, and that gets the Clowns on the board as they'll try and earn their first point in the bottom half.
Leday, 2 home runs in the regular season, now 1 long ball here in the Banana Ball Open as the Clowns try and pursue the playoff spot on the line.
Here we go, hands up in the air. Let's get it going, Shark. You guys look good. Get those arms waving. Keep it going. Hands up. Now keep it clapping as we shuffle. Now let me hear you sing it. One more time. You guys are amazing. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Now batting number 2, Grease Superman.
Everybody moving it and grooving it here in historic Grayson Stadium with Hey Baby behind us. Clark Gilmore now on the bump, the Banana Ball rookie. Mr. Irrelevant in the draft, number 88 overall in the 11th round, the final pick of the 2026 Banana Ball player draft. And the trick pitches are unbelievable. Guy who spent 3 years at Dartmouth, finished up at Notre Dame. Starting to find some success on the mound as of late as well.
Yeah, we've seen Gilmore able to earn a point for the Clowns last weekend, but what you still have to be wary of if you're a Bananas batter, Gilmore has allowed either a ball four sprint or a hit by pitch in each of his last 4 outings for the Clowns. So he's tricky, but sometimes control can elude him.
Holsizer, tough to judge that one off the bat. Alexiadis, one of the most powerful hitters in the sport. Kind of cued that one off the lumber, and will have his second knock of the night. A double his first time, so the inning tying run is on first. And Max Young Goldberg, who has hit 3rd in the order all 12 games to start his Banana Ball career, representing the inning winning run. Check on Alexiadis, good move by Gilmore. Reese back safely. Always a threat to run. 4 for 5 in stolen bases so far this year. And now Clark says, I'll leave you alone. True to his word.
Well, he might be a right-hander on that pitcher's mound, but Gilmore, he's the only right-hander with multiple pickups early this season in 2026.
Yeah, Clark had one last weekend against the Loco Beach Coconuts. Gage Voorhees had one as well. Both in that Saturday night 3-2 victory. Or Gilmore rather in the Friday night game. Voorhees Saturday night, getting the 6-out save. Count has run full on MJG. Very patient at the dish. Alexiadis off on the 3-2, chopper to prime, he'll throw to second, and what's the call gonna be here? Alexiadis collided with Leday. Second base umpire Bryson Wheeler. So far saying that Alexiadis did not interfere. Kyle Jackson. Oh, he still got the mic on him.
I can hear you. You better be nice.
Have you been listening for the last inning and a half?
Yeah, you better be nice.
Okay. Can do.
Hi, Biko. Hi, Josh. Hi, Mom.
Hey, what's up, Joe?
Hey, Joe. Hi.
KJ, can you ask Joe if he ever found his little number for his thumb?
Did you ever find the thing for your thumb?
No.
Oh.
But here we go. So Skelly, he's the man, right?
Yeah,
so
right.
he went and got me a new one. So I got a brand new thumb guard on here.
Okay,
Well,
terrific.
it doesn't fit as good, but it's okay. It's still gonna work.
Okay, so the umpires conference, Alexiadis still safe at second. I guess they decided he would have been there safe anyways. Only play that still could have been made was potentially Maxim Goldberg at first.
Run it back.
Well, you also saw intent from Alexiadis to try and get underneath Leday there, so it's not like there was any kind of intentional interference that you're seeing on his part.
Oh, KJ, you nearly just got an excuse me swing. Extra
No,
base hit.
I don't want it.
You didn't like that?
I don't want that.
Okay, that's fair.
Here we go.
That's a good cut. What a take. 1-2 to Kyle Jackson with the mic on him.
Yep, come on.
And the count 2-2. Inning tying run on second, inning winning run on first. Hot shot, glove by Prime. And it's a first in time. Kyle Jackson, thanks for keeping the mic on, man.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm in a bad mood now.
That's a productive out, KJ.
No, it ain't.
Well, KJ does move his runners over to second and third, which means a knock from Bill Leroy here has a great chance of winning the inning for the Bananas. And of course, with Alexiadis at third, a wild pitch or pass ball could tie the frame.
Well, this is the right man you want up in the batting order for the Bananas. Bill, over the last 2 years against non-party animal opponents, has a .450 batting average, 16 extra base hits, and 27 runs batted in for the Bananas. Good for a .211 OPS plus.
Wow. Called strike. 1-2 now. Infield in for the Clowns. And a good fight from Leroy. There's only one out, which is why the infield is in for the Clowns. And now the count even at 2-2. Good time to remind you, 4 balls to Leroy will win the inning for the Bananas. And popped out of play. We'll do it again. Fouled away. Gilmore's primarily four-seam fastball, cutter, and a slider. He'll throw once in a while, plus his array of trick pitches. And the sidewinder with a 3-2 count now.
And in a spot like this, you just can't see him risking the trick pitch and not nailing it for a strike here. It's like continues to go from the normal stretch.
Bill Leroy, deep fly ball to left. Joe Gray Jr. can't find it. Oh, disastrophe for the Clowns. Bryce Grzafi getting the windmill. Matt Wolf's relay, not in time. Deep fly ball lost in the twilight by Joe Gray Jr. And Bill Leroy's got himself an inning winner. Nanners are up 3-0.
Well, you score that, another extra base hit for Bill Leroy in his career. And how about this? The Clowns, their first game in Grayson Stadium, having some trouble with those lights. Now let's catch up with Sam Bauman and Jesse Cole.
Yeah, thanks, Biko. Josh, the banana ball open. Banana ball as a whole inside the mind of this guy, Jesse Cole. Jesse, you got one team, 10 wins coming to this. Another team scraping their way in. And yet, here they are, battling it out for the banana ball open. Is this the vision?
What a great storyline. Obviously, the Clowns coming back and being here in this situation and seeing the crowd. I mean, when we set this up, the goal was you watch what a regular season looks like. You know, in baseball, 162 games, and the stakes really don't matter until September. And if you can create that in the first 2 months of the season, and saw what happened last week leading to this, exactly what we want to create for fans, have them locked in and excited, and a playoff berth in the stakes right now. On the line, there we go. That's huge, that's huge. And to see that happen right now, it's exactly what we're trying to create, and the fans are into it.
And to do it here in Savannah, to come back home, I'm sure there are other venues that were bigger drawing in this, but to say, we're going to do it here in front of 5,000 fans in Savannah, bring the first ever Banana Ball Open right here.
Well, it's special. I remember back that first year, the first games here, winning a championship here, bringing it back. And, you know, 3 of our first 6 years, there were championships that would happen right here. And to see this now, a playoff berth for these fans in a league that matters, that people care about, it's exciting. And so we're going to see in 3 or 4 days, we might see a dog pile, we might see a celebration, you might see something, which is amazing. It's April, it's here in Savannah where it started. Can't wait to see what happens.
Well, Jesse, it's been good so far. The game far from over. Biko, Josh, back to you guys.
Thank you, SB. Always great to hear from the man in the yellow tux. We go to the top of the 5th inning. The Bananas up 3 points to none, as they have won the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th innings in succession. And go to the bullpen after Austin Drury goes 4 innings of 1-run ball, earning those 3 points. Cowboy Kyle, here in his 9th year as a Savannah Banana, takes over.
Yeah, he's had 6 outings in 2026. He's posted a 1-0 record so far. He has allowed a ball 4 sprint in each of his last 4 appearances for the Bananas, but he's striking out 21% of batters that he's faced this season. 16.5 is the league average. So Kyle still pretty good in that strikeout department. And with the Bananas having a 3-point edge right now, you can take out Austin Drury and feel comfortable giving the Clowns a look at a different guy, especially considering Drury allowed 3 hits last inning and was out there for 7 minutes on the mound.
Deep drive out to right. Danny Hosley coasting over has it. Dale Francis Jr. retired. And Jalen Vasquez will dig in. 9, 10, and 1 in the order here for the Clowns. They got their first run of the ball game in the 4th inning, and then the Nanners doubled them up to earn the point. JV, a dangerous man lurking at the bottom of this order. Three years in the Baltimore Orioles organization, just like Chris Burgess up in the 6th hole. And, oh, tornado catch! Super Reese in straightaway center. A doozy of a trick play.
You've seen all of them come in right field, but finally Alexianis able to nail it in center field. due to the injury from DR Meadows. New dimensions for Super Reese. They don't faze him whatsoever.
And he strikes a pose. Guy who has turned into a fan favorite on this Banana squad and beloved in the locker room. Back to the top of the order, another absolutely shattered back. Alex Ziegler twisting behind the back catch. A quick inning with a pair of fantastic trick plays for Cowboy Kyle.
2 stellar trick plays for the Nanners and a 1 minute and 42 second inning for the 9-year Banana, Kyle Lewicks.
Back down to the field we go.
Every single night, we get to do brand new things, brand new shenanigans for you. And this is an example of that right here and now. I'm standing here on the mound. This is Carter. Everybody say hi, Carter. Carter, if you notice, has a blindfold around his neck. Let's just go ahead and put it over your eyes there, Carter, because here's what's going to happen. Carter is surrounded by the Loco Beach Coconuts, who, as you can see, are all armed with water balloons. When I say go, Carter is going to do his best to dodge and not get hit with these water balloons. But he will be competing against a contestant that we will see in the next half inning. Whoever gets hit the least by the water balloons will be the winner. All right, Carter, you are locked in. You can't see anything, right? All right, very good. Loco Beach Coconuts, get yourselves ready. On your mark, get set, go. Start dodging, Carter. Oh, oh my gosh. These are professional athletes.
10, 9, 8, 7,
new clothes.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, Carter. I think I counted like 17. 17 is the number. We're going to come back in 3 outs, ladies and gentlemen, and find out who is our winner. Give it up for Carter in the first half of our dodgeball game.
Oh my gosh. Looks like that guy just crawled out of the Savannah River. Those coconuts have pretty dead-eye arms when it comes to water balloon tosses. I think a lot of guys missed.
I didn't hit him with a single one. Good job, Kyle. Good job, Kyle.
To the bottom of the 5th inning we go. Game 1 of the 2026 Banana Ball Open presented by Geico. These are win or go home games. Tonight, it's the Bananas and Clowns. Nanners up 3-0 currently. Tomorrow night, we get the 2-seed Firefighters against the 3-seed Texas Tailgaters. Winners of tonight's and tomorrow's games will collide in the best of 2 series Saturday and Sunday. And if the 2-game set is split, then we go straight into showdown tiebreakers to decide the series immediately following the conclusion of Game 2 Sunday afternoon. Every single game right here on the Banana Ball Open. Clark Gilmore out for his 2nd inning of relief. And has a ball and 2 strikes on Jackson Olsen. Couple Connecticut boys doing battle here in Savannah, Georgia. Clark out of Reading, Connecticut. Jackson Olsen infamously out of New Milford, Connecticut. And Olsen wins the battle, works the ball for sprint, and will be content with 1 base. Clowns great sprint defense. 2nd time they've had to employ it so far tonight. Something special coming from Robert Anthony Cruz. What do we got? Looks like there are some more ghosts on the field. wondering, I got a question for everybody in the Banana Ball YouTube chat. Who got more wet, Robert Anthony Cruz or the guy who just got pelted with water balloons by the Loco Beach Coconuts?
I'm going to take the water balloon guy.
I think I've got the water balloon guy as well, but it's close. It's tight. Rack, inning-winning home run his first time. Here he pops out to Joe Lytle. Wow, Clark Gilmore spinning behind the back off a tip drill from his catcher.
That's pretty impressive. You see Lytle, the wherewithal in foul territory. You've got nothing to lose, tipping that up, and Clark Gilmore finishing it off with a behind-the-back spin. The Clowns have got to get back in things when it comes to trick plays. And now it's 8 for the Bananas, 3 for the Indianapolis Clowns.
Hosley, a mighty swing and a miss. Behind no balls and 2 strikes. And off the trick pitch. A knock into right. Olsen will go station to station. Danny Hosley wise to the behind-the-back pitch from Clark Gilmore. Get another look. That is a fantastic piece of hitting from Danny Do-It-All. The trickery does not fool the Banana Ball vet as Ty Jackson checks his swing and gets a fastball off the wrist. That's one of the worst places you could possibly get hit. We hope Ty's okay. It looks like he's going to be able to shake it off. Slam his helmet. Perfect one-hopper to KJ. And now he's doing, oh, Vincent Chapman called this a foul ball. Vincent Chapman's calling Ty back to the right-handed batter's box. Ty can't believe it. Some would say he's apoplectic. Another look. Oh, yeah. That's off that right hand.
Yeah, you don't see that on Knob at all.
No.
Well, now you're getting a look from Vincent's angle.
I mean, it's a very tough play to rule from a home plate umpire. You got a pitch coming high 80s, low 90s. It's real close to the knob of the bat, and it might have got boned so crisply that it sounded like it hit the knob of the bat. But Vincent does not have the ability live to see it in super slow-mo like we do. I mean, from up here, I could not tell live if it was off the knob, but by Ty Jackson's reaction, I was pretty certain it got a piece of that wrist.
Well, once you get to see it from that first base angle, it doesn't look to me like you're seeing the Banana Ball hit anywhere on Jackson's bat.
No, it did not touch the bat at all. So, easy call for Vincent Chapman to overturn.
And I'm just going to say this as well. You would not see such a reaction. We know Ty Jackson, an entertainer, pretty dramatic guy, yes, but you would not see that kind of reaction or the pain in which Ty Jackson was kind of in that right-handed batter's box if that had struck the bat in any capacity.
Right. This is his 5th year as a Savannah Banana. He's got acting chops. He's not that good. I was very worried for Ty Jackson's health when that ball clipped him on the wrist. So now the inning-winning run 90 feet from scoring. Clowns have to bring the infield in for a 2nd straight inning. And Ryan Cox, a single his first time, with the fate of the frame in his hands. Heater just misses the inside corner, 2-0 count. And a snap throw to third, Jackson back safely. Olsen on third, Hosley on second, Ty Jackson on first. And now Gilmore will spin towards second and fire home. Crank foul. Ryan Cox, his first home run of the year this past weekend in Chapel Hill, looking for his first career grand slam. 3 career long balls for Coxie. The 2-2. Flip to short. Leday with the scoop. There's one. Wolf to first. There's 2. And Gilmore escapes. Twin killing exactly what the Clowns needed to survive the 5th inning.
Yeah, that's a big play by Bobby Leday over at shortstop, spinning around, throwing to his designated fielder and Matt Wolf, and Gilmore able to pull off a Houdini act for the Indianapolis Clowns.
He got annihilated by the Loco Beach Coconuts, but I am out here with Thomas, who's celebrating his birthday. Everybody say hi, Thomas. All right, Thomas, let's blindfold up here, but I'm gonna ask you, after you watched your buddy get just absolutely lit up by the Coconuts, how are you feeling about your chances right here and now?
It's gonna be easy.
He says it's gonna be easy work. Well, all you have to do is not get hit by, well, the number you're shooting is for less than 17. You guys think he's gonna be able to do it? I don't know, I hope your dodging skills and your agility is on point. All right, Thomas, let's get ready. Coconuts, get those balloons in hand. On your mark, get set, go. Oh my gosh, oh, he's missing him. He is not getting hit by anybody. Go, oh my God, that just missed him. Thomas, I can't believe what we're watching. No hits yet.
4, 3,
come on, get him.
1.
Hey, Thomas, we weren't actually throwing water balloons on you, but you just put on one heck of a performance in front of 5,000 fans. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our birthday boy, Thomas, and our mock blindfolded dodgeball competition.
Well, happy birthday, Thomas. We go to the top of the 6th inning after a huge 6-4-3 double play. Leday to Wolf to Prime. It is still a 3-0 Bananas lead. Beautiful sunset over our 100-year-old ballpark, historic Racing Stadium, with 4 innings still to play tonight.
The Clowns have only netted 1 run for the first 5 innings. Haven't gotten to get a point out of it, though. And a big portion, you're seeing the Bananas up 3-0. And with a shutout right now against the Clowns, their pitching staff still yet to allow a ball 4 sprint in tonight's contest.
Yeah, that's a big part of the success. When it comes to pitching in Banana Ball, just cutting down your ball 4 sprints. Jackie Bradley Jr. leading off the 6th inning. '10 College World Series Most Outstanding Player, 2-time World Series champion, the 2018 ALCS MVP for the Boston Red Sox. I think it's safe for Jackie Bradley Jr. to say, I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man, coming up to the dish. Leading the Banana Ball Championship League in hits and runs batted in. Really nice start to his Banana Ball career.
And he's also amassed 13.5 runs above a replacement level player, good for 3rd in the league right now.
Able to get a piece of the slider right there. Kyle Lewis ahead 0-2 out for his 2nd inning of relief.
And you touched on that Championship League Series MVP in 2018. The Clowns to be able to advance, they're going to need another big game out of JBJ tonight here in the later stages. Of course, had a double, 2 home runs, 9 runs batted in 2018 against the Astros.
I was working at MLB Network. I watched every pitch of that entire series. So cool to see. Every one of those runs batted in came with 2 outs. Chopper to the right side. Alex Ziegler is going to take it to the bag himself. Couldn't figure out how to get a trick play on it, so he'll do it the old-fashioned way. And JBJ 0 for 3 so far tonight. Bobby Leday steps in. 2 for 2, a single and a solo home run. He's driven in and scored the lone run of the ball game for the Clowns. Front door slider just barely snares the zone. Leday in disagreement with Vincent Chapman on the call. That's a heck of a take on the big bender. And the slider gets a swing and a miss to even up the count. High pop right side. Ziggy into foul territory, eyeing it up. Cannot connect on the behind the back attempt. Will only go as a trick play missed if Leday reaches.
But you've still got Ty Jackson, who's moved from the extra hitter spot into right field for the Bananas, hyping up Alex Ziegler despite whiffing on that ball in foul territory. Ziggy trusting that Cowboy Kyle going to be able to retire Leday as the pitch gets away from Bill Leroy. And Leday thought for a split second about swiping first base and opts to stay in the batter's box.
Man, Kyle is a giggly boy out on the mound. Every time we cut to him, he's got a ear-to-ear smile.
A devilish grin.
Yeah. Oh, just misses the top of the zone. Good-looking bender from Luigs, does not get the call from Chapman. And Leday reaches for the 3rd time tonight. Great speed. Saw him forgo the attempt at stealing first base a couple pitches ago, but 8 for 8 on the year in his stolen base tries, leading the Clowns. And Joe Lytle, a guy who's been battling Kyle Luigs for 4 straight world tours now, steps in.
But last season, 1 for 11 against Cowboy Kyle Luigs as a member of the Firefighters.
That ball struck well, but straight to Ty in right. And 2 away. So Lytle now 1 for 3 on the evening. And Nico Holsizer digs in. Couple ground outs to the left side of the infield. Into a trick play from KJ and Cox. High fly ball deep out to right center. Ty Jackson on his horse will grab it just shy of the track. And it's 2 scoreless innings of relief for Cowboy Kyle Luigs as he continues to combine with Austin Drury for a fantastic line tonight for the Nanners. Still just 1 run allowed. And we'll get it down to the field to Michael Schwartz.
Hey guys, look, this one is what it's all about. The man of the day, the man of the night. Russell Crazy Legs Patterson, how are you, sir?
Thank you very much.
What is it like to wear this jersey, see this team, and continue the legacy of the Clowns? I mean, it was so cool to watch you interact with all these players.
Well, today I had about an 8-hour conversation with ESPN, and I really cried for real. I cried about 10 minutes because this is something nailed to my heart, that playing in the Negro League and coming from Savannah, Georgia, and playing with Savannah Bears here, and I look at the history of this town, how far we done got, is just something I love.
And I was talking to Monet Davis. They were going over pitches. I said, what did he say to you? He said, well, they were going over some grips for the pitch. So you're even teaching the youth. It says Savannah Bears in the wall in left field. You grew up in Savannah, but you're Crazy Legs for a reason. Teach me some of your dance moves. What's like your best move?
Well, my best move they call the Charleston.
All right, so he doesn't know this, but I spoke to his wife, Laura, who's here tonight. They've been married 38 years.
That's the best move.
That's the best move. And by the way, he dances while he's sweeping, guys. Crazy leg. Thank you so much. I have a card I want you guys to sign. I'll get you an autograph too, all right?
And we've got Banana Ball going. I'm not sure what Michael Schwartz was trying to sign at the end there, but figured out at some point. Great to get to hear from Russell Crazy Legs Patterson. And we now welcome in the Clown center fielder, Jackie Bradley Jr. as Lede gobbles it up, tries to go between the legs. Can't come through with the trick play. JBJ, appreciate you getting mic'd up with us tonight. Can you talk us through what this 11 games of Banana Ball have been like for you so far?
It's been a good time. Very unique, something I'm still making an adjustment to, but all the guys and girls are making a lot of fun for me. It's been a great time.
Oberst off for second, he will steal it as Lytle lost the ball on the transfer.
Now, Jackie, you were part of a unique story this weekend. You play Friday and Saturday in Charleston. Then on Sunday, you watch Rory win his second straight Masters in Augusta.
Yeah.
You were there, no phone on you due to the Masters policy. And so you found out after the Masters tournament, you're getting texts from all of your guys that you're playing in this Banana Ball Open this weekend. What was that like for you?
That's exactly how it happened. I didn't get back to the car until about probably 7:30, and I had 151 text messages. So,
wow.
All of it not from Banana Ball Open, right. But there was a lot of golf talk in there. But it was. I'm glad that we're here. We just got to start putting it together. Long game left.
Britt Maddock will wheel and fake the throw to second. Payoff pitch coming to Reese Lexiatis.
You got three. Oh, shoot.
Liner out to left center, and that's going to do it. That's how cruel Banana Ball can be for a pitcher. Trick play miss, stolen base, and then a double. And all of a sudden, the Bananas lead 4-0. Well, JBJ, it was brief, but it was great to get to hear from you, my friend. Thanks for getting mic'd up.
Anytime.
Thank you very much, Jackie.
Well, Jackie Bradley Jr. and the Indianapolis Clowns find themselves in a 4-0 hole with 3 innings to play. And take a look at our trick plays so far tonight. Clowns also in a pretty formidable hole when it comes to earning the equalizer point. If they have more trick plays than the Bananas going into the final frame, then they will get a point going into our last inning. But so far, down 5 trick plays with only 2 innings to go as far as the equalizer point goes.
Well, it's the Banana Ball veterans really leading the way with trick plays tonight. Hosley's in right field, a standout. The Alexiadis tornado catch in center field. And you've got to commend Joe Lytle. He has been in Banana Ball since 2023. A very intelligent decision for him the last inning to tip it up in the air in foul territory, and then for Clark Gilmore to field the ball behind his back and get the Clowns trick plays 2 and 3 on the night.
The Banananas exit stage left and right, and Jacob Bazela takes over on the bump. Second man out of the pen for the Nanners, takes the ball from Cowboy Kyle Lewis. Only 3 runs in 9 innings pitched this year. He's been fantastic in his rookie campaign thus far.
Yeah, he allowed the first earned runs of his career last weekend in Chapel Hill, which ended a streak of 7 2/3 innings tossed without an earned run to begin his Banana Ball career. He has had 4 different games with multiple strikeouts for the Savannah Bananas, and he owns a 167 opponent's batting average this season. That is the 2nd best mark in the Banana Ball Championship League among qualifiers.
Yeah, that's averaging an inning pitched a weekend so far. So if you're less than 6 innings pitched, you're not a qualified pitcher for ERA, MPI, SHIP, any of the rate-based stats. Correll Prime, Chris Burgess, and Eli Payton. Here in the 7th inning against Bazela, the Bananas' 10th round draft pick, nabbed number 76 overall. and Jake knows the name of all 75 players drafted before him. I just made that up. I don't think he does.
I believed you. I'm going to be very honest.
I'll check in with him after the game. That's a bouncer to Kyle Jackson. Takes a tough hop, whips it between the legs. Ziggy between the legs scoop. Double trick play to get the Nanners into double digits in trick plays.
And that's tough on both ends of the diamond. Kyle Jackson with a rather tough hop off the AstroTurf, still able to go between the legs, and the same can be said for Alex Ziegler fielding that ball on one hop. I mean, that is gutsy.
How about Bazela? He knew what was happening. That was one of the cooler camera shots I've seen so far here in 2026. And now Jake, whose mom owns a dance studio. Bazela grew up in there, boogieing up until 12 years old when he had to make a decision. The baseball and the dancing, the schedules started to really clash. And he chose baseball, thankful for us, but you take a look at the moves here in the 7-2-2. Thank goodness he did spend the first 12 years of his life in the dance studio. Chopper foul from Chris Burgess. No problem with that. Bazela, a guy who pretty heavily involved in theater and show choir as well. He's just one of those guys, when you're this talented a ball player and you've got all those extracurriculars, I just feel like the guy was made in a lab for this sport.
And I mean, he's a funky, interesting guy, a lot of personality. Yeah. I mean, in BP, he makes a running snag in left field. He runs it all the way to the pitcher manning the bucket. Instead of just throwing the ball like normal, I mean, he was putting on a show, just trying to make all his teammates laugh.
A Forrest Gump-esque sprint, too.
Yes.
Chris Burgess trying to hold up. He did, Seth Markham, says Chris able to check his swing. Burgess 1 for 2, a line out, and a single. The 2-2. It's going to be a number for a leaping Bazela. Flip between the legs. Ziggy can't grab the scoop between the legs. The official scoring decision on that one, Josh?
It's still a trick play for Bazela. You cannot give it to Alex Ziegler, but you just can't hurt Bazela for Ziggy's efforts there. He does nothing wrong in that play.
Right.
But as for Alex Ziegler, not smooth, not seamless, not fluid, so you only get one trick play out of the ordeal. We saw something similar earlier in the game as well.
That's right. It was on the ground out to start the top of the third inning. Brian Cox got the trick play. Ziggy was able to knock it down between the legs, but then had to grab it with the bare hand to take care of Jalen Vasquez.
Correct.
Eli Payton comes up empty on the splitter. Part of a 5-pitch mix for Bazela. 0-2 now. Goes right back to it. Great take by Payton. Got a fastball, low 90s, slider, curveball, and a knuckleball. Funky arsenal for the funky guy on the bump. And sticks with the splitter. Count even at 2-2. Payton a strikeout and pop-up so far tonight. JT Sokolov looking healthier and healthier every weekend. Should be back on the base path soon. As Bazela goes to the bender. And he's got himself a strikeout. And there's the celebration. Thank you, Jacob Bazela. He asked me, what dance should I do if I get a strikeout tonight? I broke out that one in the locker room. And son of a gun, here we go. Wait for it. Wait for it. There it is.
The double dabs.
Nailed it. Yeah, this is something I invented in Australia. It's made its way back stateside. And I'll tell you something we are really excited about here in Banana Ball is this new addition to bananaball.com/stats. You go to the game section and you can now look at box scores, live end of games that have happened, and here you can even see the projected pitchers in tomorrow night's game on there.
Yeah, it's a really exciting new development. We've been able to add something we've been looking for a long time, and you see right here, you can click inside the box score. This was a game last Sunday between the Bananas and Tailgaters. The full report of all the action in the ball game game, batting lines, pitching lines, trick plays, even the best MPIs and all the home runs that were hit in the contest. A special thanks to our partners over at Tyrannosaurus Tech for their help in making this possible.
Yeah, legends over at T-Rex Tech. Could not do it without them. They've been superstars across the last couple of years working together as we continue to add bells and whistles to bananaball.com/stats. As that one all the way to the backstop, Max Young-Goldberg didn't think once about attempting to steal first base.
That's the rookie effect. I think if you give Max Young-Goldberg another year in Banana Ball, he sees a pitch like that, he's likely to try and swipe first base. But Goldberg, a pretty powerful bat in this Bananas lineup, happy to keep swinging the stick.
I definitely do not think you're wrong about it being the rookie effect, but I also got a little dose of Jake Skoll in the box right there of this is a guy who just wants to
his
swing the bat.
ABs. Right.
Yeah, exactly. Because that was a walk in the park to steal first base on that one. Got nuzzled back by the backstop.
I would say it can be game dependent as well. You're trailing in the points department right now, and you're probably trying to set the table for the guys behind you in the order, but that is clearly not an issue right now for the Bananas.
Up 4-0, looking for more. And MJG continues to be a tough customer for Brett Maddock. Clown's 9th round draft pick out of Oakdale, California. Going up against the kid from Palo Alto in the box. And that one poked out to right center. JBJ with a good read on it, catches it between the legs with his keister towards home plate. Dazzling trick play from Jackie Bradley Jr.
Off balance in center field. I mean, he is hardly finding his footing out there in right center field. And Jackie Bradley Jr. able to come away with another under-the-legs grab this season for the Clowns.
Came into the night 6 for 8 on his trick play attempts. He's now 1 for 1 in the Banana Ball Open. And Brett Maddock here in his 2nd inning of relief gave up an unearned run in the 6th as the Nanners nabbed their 4th point. And now has a 2-1 count working on Kyle Jackson. Line out and a ground out so far tonight for KJ. Fastball just misses. It's high 80s for Maddock. Kind of sits 86 to 88 with the 4-seam. You see there's a lot of movement on it as KJ earns the sprint. And will park it at first base.
Well, he's just a guy who's out there trying to induce soft contact. Maddock, only 1 ground out this season. He's induced 14 flyouts entering tonight's game. Very much a fly ball pitcher, and each of his last 6 innings entering tonight's contest have been tossed in less than 4 minutes. So he said going into the season, a big goal for him was to have a top MPI mark, and he has clearly made good on that early in 2026.
There's the fastball for strike 1 to Bill Leroy. He's also got to look out for a changeup, slider, and curveball from Maddock. There's one of the benders for ball 1. Bill with the walk-off double to win the 4th inning. Netted a 3rd straight point for the Bananas. Lytle will throw behind KJ. He's back standing. Maceo Harrison coaching third base and dancing along the way, as he's been known to do around here. Nanners dancing first and third base coach full-time since summer of 2018. This is year 9 for Maceo, just like the man in the box. Nice scoop by Joe Lytle to keep KJ at first. High pop right side. Nico Holsizer, tip drill, secures it. There's out number 2. Nico came in with 3 trick plays, yet to booth one. Perfect 1-for-1 now in the open. As Jackson Olsen waves through a fastball. It's sneaky velo from Brett Maddock as he induces a pop-up left side. Lede, Peyton, and Gray. Peyton pops it, Gray snags it, colliding with Lede. And a double trick play to put a bow on a 4-trick play, bottom of the 7th for the Clowns. Check that, make it 3.
They call me the professor. I was an actual teacher, and at the end of the school year, one of our favorite things, of course, was field day. Field day at the end of the year is so much fun. There's lots of games and relays. We're putting our spin on it. We've got 3 contestants here. I've got Hannah, Emerson, and Madison, and they're going to be paired up with 3 guys who are with the Savannah Bananas to compete in a race. They're going to have from first to second base, they're going to leapfrog, they're going to piggyback from second to third, and then they're going to wheelbarrow from third to home. Now, we've been telling these ladies that they are going to be partnered up with 3 guys who are with the Savannah Bananas, which is true. We never said that they were going to be with the actual Savannah Bananas. So ladies, let's go ahead and meet your partners. Coming out of the dugout, ladies and gentlemen, members of our Dad Bod Cheer Squad. We got Spidey, we've got Fluffbin, and the birthday boy Radbod. This is the field day relay. May the best pair win. All right, let's partner up, let's lock in. Here we go, leapfrog on your marks, get set, go! Fluffbin with the lead. Radbod with tremendous leaping skills, might I add. There you go, Mikey. Get it, Spidey. Spidey, CrossFit coach in his spare time. All right, one more should do it. All right, get on there. Get down to third. It's time for the piggyback. Jump on. There goes Fluff. He's in orbit. Here comes Spidey. Spidey's got wheels. They're making their way. Come on, Radbod. Don't fall behind, birthday boy. Get it in there. All right, now the epic finish. Get those legs up. Here they go. Here comes Spidey. Tremendous upper body strength. Come on, Mikey. Oh, my God. Oh, by a landslide. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for the winners of the field day relay.
What a win for Spidey and that woman. And good efforts from our other 4 contestants, Fluff and Radbod included. Tristan Levesque, the new man on the mound for the Bananas. As we head to the 8th inning with Savannah up 4-0. Levesque across 7 1/3 innings. Fantastic start to his young banana ball career.
Yeah, 3-minute and 13-second minutes burning mark. That's how long on average it takes him to record 3 outs. That is tops among qualified pitchers in banana ball. And if you normalize that, do MPI plus 100 being the tour average, Levesque is at a 146 MPI plus. He is 46% faster than the tour average arm.
Trick pitch, fastball misses down and out. Peter in the high 80s can touch 90, 91 if he's really feeling spicy. And a strikeout on the changeup. Levesque sits down Dale Francis Jr. to kick off the 8th.
And he hasn't necessarily excelled in the strikeout department. Nonetheless, he's very much one of those control pitchers for the Bananas. Only 1 ball 4 sprint allowed early in his career. And he's been pretty decent at inducing trick play outs this season. 36.5% of his total outs have resulted in Nanner's trick plays.
Fastball, strike 1 to Kirkland Banks. Another rookie-on-rookie battle here as the heater is right down the chute. And an 0-2 count on the kid out of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Liner, base knock into right. Great piece of 2-strike hitting from Kirkland. Hitting in Jalen Vasquez's spot in the 10-hole. Setting the table for the top. As Joe Gray Jr. digs in, a check on Banks over at first. Clowns left fielder 0 for 3. 3 pop-outs so far tonight. As the fastball scrapes the inside corner. And another check on Banks. Good to keep an eye on Kirkland over at first. 20 for 22 in stolen base attempts last year in the Pioneer League. As the count evens at 2-2 on Gray. Baltimore chop. KJ barehand flip to second for 1. That is all they will get. Snazzy play by Kyle Jackson.
And that barehand, that's the difference in getting the lead out at second base. You don't have to try and dig that ball out of your glove. You just see Jackson instantly able to turn and fire to Olsen, covering the second base bag. What a fantastic play from Kyle Jackson. It's just a good overall baseball play.
So Gray takes over for Banks at first. And a swing and a miss on the slider. Jackie Bradley Jr. left on left against Tristan Levesque. And the beauty of Banana Ball right here, a guy who spent over a decade in the bigs. It's the guy who spent his entire college career at the University of Rhode Island and came straight to Banana Ball. That's not to say Levesque wasn't fantastic at URI last spring. As the fastball evens up the count.
Yeah, he posted a career low 3.49 earned run average in 2025.
Gray off on the pitch. Bill Leroy was going for a trick play. No chance as Joe swipes second. That was across 95 1/3 innings for Levesque. He was a workhorse. 16 starts. Slow roller, right side, MJG, bouncer to Levesque, bang, bang at first, just in time to get Jackie Bradley Jr. A trick play for Max Young-Goldberg, and another scoreless frame twirled by the Nanners pitching.
And what a massive trick play that is for the Bananas. Even if the Clowns get 3 double trick plays in the bottom half of this inning, they still won't be able to earn that equalizer point.
We're going to light up the sky here in Savannah. Everyone all the way around the stadium, flashlights on, and we're going to join in and sing as loud as we can a little Yellow. Here we go. Keep it going. We love you so much, Banana Nation. Now let's go, Bananas!
Oh man, it warms my heart to see Jose Cheito Benitez calling this game in Espanol. Dancing to Yellow, and over on the Spanish broadcast, singing Yellow in Spanish. Every single Savannah Bananas game this year. And Jose will be on the call tomorrow night as well for the 2 versus 3 seeds. Firefighters against Tailgaters. As Gage Voorhees, new man on the mound for Indianapolis with a 4-point hole, Trying to keep the deficit at just that before we go to the 9th and final inning where every run scored counts as a point.
A 7th round draft pick by the Indianapolis Clowns in the Banana Ball player draft. Voorhees earned a 6-out save against the Coconuts last Saturday in Charleston. And he ranks 2nd on the Clowns with 12 1/3 innings pitched this season. The most interesting note, though, on Voorhees, a member of the Bananas last season, did not find a lot of success pitching here in Grayson Stadium. A 5.87 earned run average in 23 innings, and he allowed 6 home runs in this ballpark.
Robert Anthony Cruz, loud contact, but a backpedaling JBJ takes care of it. 1 pitch, 1 out for Voorhees against his former left fielder.
World's tallest batter, Dakota Stilts. Oh, Breton.
And now Gage gets to face the legend of Banana Land. That is Dakota Stilts All-Britain, here in his 6th World Tour. Standing 10 feet, 11 inches tall. Stilts takes the heater wide. And the count even at a ball and a strike. Voorhees may have found his footing against the Bananas through a 1-2-3 inning in Angel Stadium 3 weekends ago. Parlayed that into 2 scoreless frames and the save in the 3-2 victory last Saturday night against the Coconuts. Chopper back up the middle. Leday between the legs over to first. Boy, that was a lot closer than I think Bobby Leday expected. Stilts hustling down the line. Impressive speed from the lanky legend as Leday hits another trick play.
You had plenty of time to go between the legs, but that's some of the best base running we've ever seen from Dakota Stilts All-Britain in his illustrious Banana Ball career. I think these other infielders, honestly, they need to take note of that.
Big boy was cooking. No balls and 2 strikes on Ty Jackson. Big leg kick. A check swing, did he go? No, says Seth Markham. Voorhees trying to make it 4 straight scoreless innings. Tie 2 fly stands in his way. Strikeout his first time hit by a pitch back in the 5th inning. And from 0-2 to 3-2. The payoff. High fly ball deep to left. Oh, what a running catch. Joe Gray Jr. playing extremely shallow in ball 4 sprint defense, makes up for it with 80 great speed.
And it preserves a 2-minute and 1-second inning for Gage Voorhees as well. Heck of a play from Joe Gray Jr., the former Brewers farmhand.
The sound of the bells means it's time to cast our gaze upon the scoreboard. Heading into the top of the 9th inning, the score is 4 points for the Savannah Bananas, 0 points for the Indianapolis Clowns. But here's the thing about the game of Banana Ball. In the final inning, every run counts for a point. And you better believe the Indianapolis Clowns know what's at stake here tonight. They have a chance to get into the playoffs if they win tonight, so you better believe they're going to come out hard here in the top of the 9th. On the other hand, the Savannah Bananas need just 3 outs to advance to Saturday and Sunday. So ladies and gentlemen of Grayson Stadium, let's get loud because this is the final inning.
Danny Do-It-All takes center stage with a 4-point lead, so it's not a save situation. But Hosley as you can see by the numbers, so far infallible here in his 4th World Tour on the mound.
The only qualified pitcher in Banana Ball who still has an earned run average at 0. And earlier we touched on how strong Bill Leroy has played against non-party animals opponents over the last 2 years. The same can be said for Danny Do-It-All on the pitcher's mound. Across 28 innings, he's averaging 3 outs in 3 minutes and 19 seconds, has a 0.64 earned run average, and he has recorded 14 saves in 14 opportunities. This, of course, not a save situation, but nonetheless, that 0.64 earned run average, when it translates to ERA plus and 100 is always the league average, Hosley is at a 921 ERA plus. He is over 9 times better than a tour average pitcher when he is playing non-party animal opponents.
I haven't taken a math class since senior year of high school. That just broke my brain.
It's astronomical.
I've never seen an ERA plus north of 300.
You're welcome.
Holy moly. Well, thank you, Danny Hosley. As he dances to open up the top of the 9th with Olson, Cox, and Alexiadis, his backup dancers, and the fastball right down the chute. Foul back from Bobby Leday. 3, 4, and 5 here for the Clowns. The big boppers, as Indy needs 3 guys to reach before they can think about tying this game. There's the 12-6 curveball. 0-2 count on Bobby Leday. 2 for 2. A homer and a sprint. And down swinging on 3 pitches. There's the Vulcan changeup. So filthy. Even when it ends up right down the middle like it did right there, swing and a miss.
It just doesn't spin out of the hand the way that you're expecting. That's what you get throwing a Vulcan changeup, and that lack of spin makes it incredibly hard to pick up if you're a batter in the batter's box, and that's why it has become that signature strikeout pitch for Danny Do-It-All, who has led the tour in strikeout rate every season since he entered Banana Ball in 2023.
He is different. Bill Leroy trying to frame that one. Vincent Chapman gave it a long look. No strike call, though.
I thought about it for maybe an immaculate inning, but not to be.
Oh, boy. Liner right back at Haas. Look out. His instinct was to raise the bare hand. I'm very happy that Banana Ball did not get a piece of Danny Hosley's right hand. Weidl's been barreling ball all night long. Whew, that was close. That's his 2nd knock. He lined out his last time.
The Clowns are just trying to keep the line moving. Every run counts for a point here in the final innings. So to possibly get this game to the bottom of the 9th, the Clowns are going to need 4 runs, which would translate to points. They also still have the golden batter at their disposal. You can bat any batter, regardless of their spot in the lineup, into the game whenever you want.
Big swing and a miss on the Vulcan changeup from Nico Holsizer. Couple ground outs and a fly out. And called strike 3. The old backdoor Vulcan changeup. And 2nd punch out in the inning for Haas. Gnarly.
And a nice frame by Bill Leroy as well. That pitch coming in possibly a little high on Nico Holsizer nonetheless. Bill able to put that one down, not an excessive yank back into the zone either. And it gets the call from Vincent Chapman, and it's up to the former Savannah Banana, Correll Prime, to try and keep the line moving tonight and keep the Clowns' Banana Ball open hopes alive.
Swing and a miss on the changeup. A ball and a strike on Prime. 2 hits so far tonight. And able to lay off the changeup there. Primetime just trying to pass the baton. The 2-1. Fouled back. And the Clowns are down to their final strike. The 2-2. Bouncer up the middle, past Ryan Cox. Primetime with his third knock of the night, and the Clowns still draw breath here in the ninth.
We had a 3-hit game against his former teammates in Anaheim a couple weekends ago. Now follows it up with 3 knocks tonight in this Banana Ball Open semifinal. And the Clowns still not utilizing that golden batter quite yet. Chris Burgess will be sent to the plate.
High pop in the infield. Who wants the final out? Max Young Goldberg, a basket catch. And Danny Hosley bends but does not break. He strands a pair as the Bananas cruise to a 4-0 victory and have punched their ticket to the Banana Ball Open final on Saturday night.
Well, they came in the 1 seed for a reason, a 10-1 record. They have played like Banana Ball's most complete team in 2026. And this open contest might have been their most complete game all year. 12 trick plays for the Savannah Bananas, only 1 miss, only 1 ball 4 sprint issued by their pitching staff compared to 6 strikeouts. And the Clowns only scrape 1 run on the board, can't even translate it into a point. This was an utterly dominant 4-0 win for the boys in yellow tonight.
Their reward is a dance in the middle of the diamond as Clark Gilmore and company look on. It's part of the beauty of Banana Ball. It wouldn't feel so good when you win if it felt so bad when you're on the other side of it. The Bananas will await the victor of the Texas Tailgaters and the Firefighters tonight. The 2-seed Firefighters, the 3-seed Tailgaters, in what will be a 2-game set Saturday night and Sunday afternoon here in Grayson Stadium. You have to tip your cap to the Clowns. Fantastic job getting in here. They ran into a buzzsaw tonight. Can't wait until the next time these two teams do battle. Here's Jesse Cole.
Banana Nation, thank you so much for being with us the first night of the Banana Ball Open. But first, let's get a big round of applause for the Indianapolis Clowns right here. They were the original ones to do it, put on a show, and they did it right. And a lot of the reason we're here is because of what they've done for 60+ years. Hey, we are not done yet here. Thank you so much. We are going to have all the players, all the cast, everyone outside for the post-game plaza party to thank you guys, to meet you guys. We love what we do. We love you, and we'll see you outside. Thank you.
Always great to hear from Big Yellow as the Bananas prepare themselves for a victory photo. And we'll go shake hands with their very capable opponents, the Indianapolis Clowns, who simply ran into the best team in Banana Ball right now. And on the backs of Austin Drury, Kyle Lewicks, Jacob Bazela, Tristan Levesque, and Danny Hosley, the Clowns only able to scrape 1 run together. It was on the solo home run from Bobby Leday in the 4th. And the Nanners offense, powered by Reese Alexiadis, who earned Showman of the Night honors. Started with a walk-up before he even saw a pitch. Just the second batter in the bottom of the 1st. Boogieable, and then 3 knocks on the night. A couple doubles, a walk-off. Aggressive base running, as per usual, and the tornado catch out in straightaway center field. Super Reese doing it all tonight.
Yeah, it was an impressive game from Reese Alexiadis all around. 3 hits, 2 doubles, a walk-off with a run batted in, and then you factor in that tornado catch with him filling in for DR Meadows in center field. I mean, the Bananas without one of their best bats heading into this Banana Ball Open, and it didn't seem to faze them whatsoever. They go to just another one of their superstars in Alexiadis, and he helped propel the Bananas to this 4-0 victory.
Let's hear from the man himself. For that, we'll get it on down to Mr. Sam Bauman.
Hey, thanks, Biko, Josh, the future king of the Pirates, the current showman of the game. Reese, I was talking to you before the game. I said, hey, man, why don't you hit me a home run? And you said, it's not about my accolades tonight.
Yeah, I mean, the cool thing about this is stats don't matter. Wins matter. And so that's what this tournament's about, and we took care of business today.
Now, Reese, you guys obviously missing your usual center field in DR Meadows, right? You come into this, you step up. What's the mentality knowing I got to go out there and maybe be a leader in the outfield tonight?
I mean, can never be as cool as DR out there, but just honored to play a position that I used to play a lot. So it was cool changing it up a bit, but just can't wait for DR to get back out there.
Hey, what's the mentality of the guys? You come in with the best record, easily you could be on upset alert. You could say, these guys say they don't need to win the Open, they're just going to win the season, but you guys come out here and put on a show.
Yeah, it just comes down to preparation. You know, this is what it was about, and you know, we just wanted to win.
All right, we're going to go do a picture real quick. We got one more question for him, so he's just going to do the picture. Yeah, we'll just get in here. Hey, Reese, while I got you, real quick, our Banana Ball backstage question of the day from 8-year-old Ray wants to know, are you ready to have fun?
Oh, yeah.
Showman of the game. He couldn't talk, he was smiling. That's Reese Alexiadis, future king of the Pirates, current showman of the game. Wave to him, Reese. Hey, back at Biko Josh.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you for the very kind wave there, Mr. Alexiadis. It was a funny couple cats down there. So the Nanners take it 4-0, dominating from the 2nd inning on. And the Indianapolis Clowns will rest until next weekend. The Bananas will be playing Saturday night as we welcome you back inside the booth with Josh Talevsky, Biko Scala. Thank you all so much for spending your thirsty Thursday evening with us here in virtual Banana Land. The Bananas 6 straight regular season wins. They now add this opening victory here in the Banana Ball Open. Clearly the best team in the sport right now, and it's just going to be a matter of can the Firefighters or Tailgaters figure out how to beat this team.
And look, here's the thing. Now the Bananas have secured playing as the home team on Saturday night as well. They'll switch to that away team on Sunday. But just being able to continue to play as that home team in a game 1 means so much. You saw the effect that it had on the Bananas tonight. Some very quick walk-offs against the Indianapolis Clowns, and all around a fantastic game. And what really stands out, the Bananas against the Firefighters early in March playing here in Grayson Stadium allowed just 2 earned runs across 17 1/3 innings pitched. Tonight here in Grayson Stadium, only 1 earned run across 9 innings. So that is now only 3 earned runs that Bananas pitchers have given up in 26 1/3 innings pitched in Grayson Stadium. Good for a 1.03 earned run average. We talk about how good this team is from a pitching standpoint. They're at their best playing at home. And despite the trials that they went through in Grayson last season, it does not appear that it's going to be the case in 2026.
Dominated by the Party Animals here in Grayson Stadium last year, of course, then in the playoffs. They lost game 1 to the Firefighters and then lost the series on the infamous swing by Dalton Cornett in series showdowns. Let's take a look at the bracket after this Savannah Bananas 4-0 victory over the Indianapolis Clowns. That puts the 1 seed, the Nanners, in the final. And boy, oh boy, get your popcorn ready. I cannot wait to see the number 2 overall seed, the Firefighters, against the number 3 seed, the Tailgaters. These teams split their series in Scottsdale, Arizona a few weekends ago, and it will be right back here on the Banana Ball YouTube channel, 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. pregame show.
And what fascinates me the most about that Tailgaters Firefighters series, the away team won each of the 2 contests in that series. It was the Firefighters winning as the away team team. The Tailgaters winning as the away team. And we've got a heck of a pitching matchup on our hands tomorrow night, as it looks like it's going to be Chris Clark for the Texas Tailgaters, Jared Donaldson getting the ball for the Firefighters. Two of Banana Ball's best starting pitchers early in 2026.
Oh my goodness gracious. I just can't wait for tomorrow night. I think tomorrow could be a great day before then, but I'm ready for more Banana Ball. I hope you feel the same sentiment. Happy early Big Tiger Friday. You're going to be enjoying it with Brett Loftus and Zach Staten on the call, and then Josh and I will be back in the booth Saturday to see the Bananas take on the victor of tomorrow night's game. A big shout out to our entire cast and crew, our director over in the control room across the street. So great to be back in Savannah and not be separated by hundreds of miles from our incredible folks in the control room. Chris Haynes directing this broadcast, leading our crew over in B Road in the control room. And right here, this broadcast produced by the legend himself, Mr. Chad Reese. For our executive producer, Josh Richardson, for our guys down on the field, it's going to be not just one, not two, but
3, 4.
Yeah. We got 4 sideline reporters here tonight. I've got.
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
Never mind.
Yeah,
3.
Yeah. I was here to shout out Sam Bauman. Also
Michael
here
Schwartz.
to shout out Michael Schwartz, and I'm also here to shout out Nate Bilgeray. So I mean that's quite a crew, and can't wait to see what our sideline folks have tomorrow night. For us in the booth, Josh Talevsky, Biko Scala, saying so long for now. See you on Saturday night, and more importantly, I'll see you in the broadcast chat tomorrow evening right here on the Banana Ball YouTube channel. 4-0 win for the Nanners. Until we see you tomorrow night, we will see you
Rest in power, old score bugs.